Hello and welcome in for everyone tuning in on YouTube. It is so good to have you in here with us for the day. Today, if you don't know what we do here, we're going to debate a handful of Trump supporters. In fact, we're going to be debating Trump supporters for the next 4 hours non-stop. We already have our first two Trump supporters, G and Ross, loaded into the live stream. I'm going to have a conversation with them both, a little bit of a 2v1. And if you're not new here and you know what we do, welcome into the stream. Yet another day of trying to figure out how so many Americans support, the felon in command. So, G and Ross, if you guys want to take it away and tell us why you support Trump, that would be phenomenal. Go for it.
Not the felon, man.
That was probably the kindest thing I could say about him is that he's a felon.
You see how he beat it though. All that was false accusations and stuff, man.
Okay, I don't know where you're pulling that one from. It sounds like you're pulling it from your ass because it's just abundantly false. He was sentenced with 34 felonies. He was found guilty. He was charged with 34 felonies. He was found guilty of 34 felonies, and he was sentenced for 34 felonies. And every appeal attempt that has been made has been denied.
A guy with 34 felonies is in your White House. How does that happen?
Yeah, by like people like you supporting him for like no goddamn reason, supposedly. I don't know.
So you would rather support Biden and stuff and let all these illegals come over here and shoot up the schools and, give them a food stamp card, house them.
Wait, can you give me an example?
Majority of them, the dude down in Texas, down in South Texas.
Can you give me like a handful of examples of undocumented immigrants?
You don't remember when Kamala gave the dude Kamala pardoned the dude and he went and chopped the kid up down in South Texas?
Okay, well, Kamala's never pardoned anybody because she's never been the president, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, Kamala was doing everything for Biden. Let's be real. Biden has dementia.
Okay, so who did Biden pardon that ended up chopping up a kid?
Down in South Texas. I'll have to do some research on that.
Right, yeah, because I'd love to get a name here. Did you know that like Donald Trump has pardoned people that then went on to go back to jail for like more assault on cops for like another 5 or 10 years? Like he pardoned people that like gave like cops heart attacks on January 6th by driving stun guns into their necks. He pardoned a man that tried to kill a cop by bashing his brains out with his foot on J6. Called him a patriot too. So if you want to talk about pardons of violent offenders, we shouldn't look any further than Trump. Additionally, you brought up the fact that undocumented immigrants have some association with violent crime. Please answer my question. What percentage of violent crimes in America do undocumented immigrants commit?
Over 10% for sure.
No, it's actually 1%, and it's actually disproportionate to their percentage of the populace. They're 2.5 times.
What database are you finding this at?
That's a great question. It's coming from the FBI crime stats as well as reference from the PNAS, which has been tracking crime since the 19th century, so for quite a long time. They commit 1% of the violent crime in this country, and they're 2.5 times less likely to commit violent crimes than citizens. Do you know who commits 90% of crimes in this country?
Who's that?
Men. So I don't really think that you are really going to be looking to deport undocumented immigrants to solve crime. And I don't really think that you care about solving crime because when have you ever talked about what we could be doing better as a society to address and reduce the rate at which men commit crimes? Well, everybody over on YouTube and everybody on TikTok, this started out as a 1v2. One of the guests left without saying anything. He kind of did that quietly. I think that we're just noticing it now. And now this second guest right here is also left after being very quickly gagged with that statistic. He's gone too. So it looks like we have been live on YouTube for a whole total of 3.5 minutes. Including the time for the intro, which was around 45 seconds to 60. In about 2 minutes, we were able to successfully win a debate against two people. So yeah, he just officially left and dropped right there. We're going to move on to the next guest. If you happen to be watching and you support Trump and you want to come up here and have a conversation, that would be fantastic. Go ahead and put a MAGA with your age down below in that chat. We'll pull you up. I'm feeling good today. So it looks like we're going to be on a roll. We're going to go ahead and pull up that next guest right now. If you are watching, you support Trump, you want to come up here and have a debate, let me know down below. Let's go ahead and move in. Load in that next guest, Lucky. Once again, if you're in that queue, make sure that means that you support Trump and you want to have a conversation with me. What's going on?
Hello?
You support Trump?
Support Trump? Pardon?
Okay, they have a crazy echo and it sounds like they're from Britain, so I'm going to go and kick them. Moving on to the next guest here, everybody. Once again, put a MAGA with your age down below in that chat if you want to join right now, everybody, right now. Whoops, drop the anxiety pin. Quite frankly, do that all day, every day. Welcome in, Madman, you MAGA. Okay, Madman, I think he joined the queue because he, supports Trump, wanted to have a conversation, but then he quickly and promptly left the queue, likely after that last conversation. We're going to move on to the next guest, Cole. Welcome in, Cole. Do you support Trump?
No, I don't.
Okay, Cole. Why
But
were
thank
you?
you for talking about.
I appreciate you for coming on, man. Please don't spam MAGA in my chat, then, bro. I do appreciate you for the love. Moving on right now. Here we go, everybody. Here we go, y'all. Moving on to the next guest. What's going on, Majestic? Do you support Trump?
No, I stopped supporting Trump. We need
Based! Let's go, bruh. Let's go. Moving on to the next guest, everybody. Go and put a MAGA with your age down below in that comment section if you want to join up, guys. Just looking for some Trump supporters. I mean, we just had a couple guests in a row that we're hopping in the queue that don't support Trump, guys. Stop doing that, please. Please. Just listen to me. Please stop doing that. Welcome in Floyd. Floyd left 2. Moving on to the next guest right now. We're going to go and get that next guest pulled up here. We got a Cat's Life loading in. In fact, we're going to go and load up a handful of guests at the same time just because I'm expecting most of these people to not be following the rules, even though I made them explicitly clear. Welcome into Cat's Life. Are you MAGA?
Hello, Dean.
Who said that?
Oh no, it's me, Dean. It's Christian. Just real fast, I just want to say I'm glad that I found you and Parker. So I wish you the best. And I try to see things from all sides, but I'm glad that I found you and I see things from a different perspective. So just good luck and be safe out there.
Hey, man, I appreciate you so much for the love, man. That's awesome. I'm glad that I've been able to give you a different perspective that's helped you change your mind. I think that's awesome, man. I think that's super cool. But like once again, I will very politely ask you guys to please follow the rules and to not join the queue unless you're a Trump supporter. Welcome in. What's going on, Brandon? Are you MAGA?
Yes, I am.
All
Well, I
right,
voted for Trump.
Brandon. Great. Do you have me connected to like a Bluetooth device or anything per chance? Like headphones?
Hey, you still vaping? You still using your vape?
I don't do that. Yeah.
So why are you crashing out?
It's an anxiety pen. I'm just kidding. Okay, so why do you support Trump?
Bro, what do you crash out over a vape pen comment?
It's not a vape. It's not a vape.
Bro, do you even know who Bill Clinton's vice president was?
Bill Clinton's vice president. No, I don't. So why do you support Trump?
What?
Wait, Bill Clinton's vice president. Was it Al Gore?
Yeah, it was Al Gore.
Ah, so I do know. Thank you. Anyway, so why do you support Trump?
Oh. So you actually know a little bit about history. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So why do you support
Bro,
Trump? Let's hear an answer.
Is this all you do all day?
Yeah, well, I want to find Trump supporters to have a conversation.
You must have a miserable life, bro.
I actually love my life. Thank you.
Sitting on TikTok all day, debating people over politics?
Oh,
How
fuck
boring.
yeah.
I'm a libertarian.
Cute, bro. Are you going to give me an argument for why you
Bro,
support
what
Trump?
would you
or
do
you're
if
just
the
gonna sit up here
internet
and
went
yap?
down? You wouldn't be able to survive
Socially
with other people without the internet.
For real, if I lost my job, I'd lose my job.
You wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, what if the internet?
You wouldn't be able to do anything socially, bro.
I have a question. If you lost your job, would you lose your job?
Do you do anything socially?
Yeah, I do, bro. Are you
Besides
gonna answer the
TikTok?
question above my head?
What do you do socially besides TikTok?
Why do you need to know that information?
I'm just
at all?
curious.
We'll stay curious.
Because it seems like you and Parker just sit on TikTok all day, just blah 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 blah, womp womp womp.
Okay,
That's what it sounds like. all day.
So yeah, I have a question. So imagine that you worked at like a Jersey Mike's and you made sandwiches, and you had a lot of frequent employees that came in often, saw you every day. From their perspective, the only thing that that they would know about you
Bro,
is that,
you're literally on TikTok all day.
bruh, can you let me finish speaking?
What would you do if the internet went down?
Brandon, do you like have a brain? Can you like let me input information?
Bro,
into your
Andrew
brain?
Wilson destroyed you and Parker
Dude,
on like.
he's literally
the
just spamming
agenda.
buttons. This dude is just spamming buttons. I have to mute you, dude. Just like I want you to like open your brain and let information come in through like words that I'm vocalizing. Just listen, okay? So imagine
Just get
that,
off TikTok and read a book, bro. When's the last time you read a book?
dude. This guy's literally just spamming like phrases. Are you AI?
When's the last time you read a book?
Yesterday?
What was it?
Yeah, it was one of Michael Huemer's books about social and political philosophy.
Oh, did you read the whole thing?
No, I didn't read a whole book in one day. Now, can I speak?
What'd you do? Read one page?
Well, so I think that there's a good median between one page.
Yeah,
and
I'm gonna get
300.
back to work because I'm on my lunch break. But yeah, you have.
Well, I mean, I think that you're just simply running away from a conversation with me. And what I'll ask you is, instead of like getting hateful and vindictive because you see me up here debating people with your same perspective and you see me shitting on it, and you know that you're not as intelligent as me, so you can't beat me in a debate, don't just come up here and whine like a kid, bruh. Like, at least try to confront it head on by having a good conversation.
you could talk.
Or just like, don't confront it at all and move on with your day. But, you know, coming up here chirping, saying like, oh, if you lost your job, would you lose your job? It just makes you look A, jealous, and B, dumb. So what are we going to do, man? Are we going to have a
TikTok
debate on
your
why you support
job?
Trump?
Is TikTok your job?
Yeah, absolutely, bro.
Bro, that's sad.
Why is
What
it
would
sad?
your resume look like?
I mean, I
What
have
would
a
your
great
resume look like when the internet? What would your resume look like when the internet goes down?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'll tell you what my resume would look like. A, it would show me working as the creative director of a seven-figure e-commerce store with brick-and-mortar production plans for around a year and a half and increasing their online revenue portals by around 35%. It would also look like my 2 international awards for web development achieved in back-to-back years in 2021 and then 2022. And then it also looked like
Development?
campaign advisory, social media consultation, as well as building my own brand related to what we do here in politics. And keep in mind, I'm not even 21 yet. I'd say that's a damn near impressive resume for a 20-year-old. Thank you.
Bro, you're not even old enough to drink?
Yeah, and I still have all
God.
those accomplishments under my belt. Look at me go, man. I know.
No, you just get paid by somebody to do all this.
Yeah, I
What a
get paid by
bum.
the people watching that support it. I didn't know that getting paid for work makes you a bum. Like fucking hell. Okay. Well, you left. We're going to move on to the next guest, guys. We are truly looking for one Trump supporter to just come up here and have a debate with us. It doesn't really look like a whole lot of people want to have conversations. That guy just came up here to chirp, but, he got sat down rather quickly. I wish that we could just focus on the debate so we didn't have to engage in such immaturity. But when the opportunity presents itself, I'm definitely not going to let somebody, fly away with their ego in hand. So welcome in, Oliver. How old are you?
I'm 18.
Nice, man. Do you support Trump?
Yeah, I do.
Nice. Well, go ahead and take it away, man. Tell us why you support Trump as president.
I mean, honestly, man, he's just better than any other president. I mean, he's making our taxes way lower. I mean, it's so much easier to afford houses with him being our president. So,
Okay, well, which one do you want to start on? Like cutting taxes or making houses more affordable? I'll start where you want to. Take it away. Like which one?
house is way more affordable, bro.
Okay, great. How's he making houses more affordable?
I mean, he's making it more affordable by giving money to
Giving money.
people, just making it so that they're more affordable.
So he's making them more affordable by
He's
giving
making the
money.
economy better.
So you're saying that he's making houses more affordable by giving money
No,
or
no.
subsidies to the
No,
people?
no.
Okay,
Restart
Oliver.
it. Put it.
You're saying that Trump is making houses more affordable by giving money or subsidies to the people that want to buy those houses. Unironically, you're describing a policy that Kamala Harris ran on, so that's really funny. But no, this is not something that Donald Trump is doing. But you did just tell us one of the major advantages of a vote for Kamala Harris and one of the policies that we would have seen right now if she won the election. But you're definitely not describing anything that Donald Trump is doing.
Well, I mean, look at our economy now compared to before.
Well, what's the before and after point, and what are the relevant macroeconomic variables in which you think have improved because of Trump's presidency?
Say that again.
Okay, well, what is the before and after point, and what are the relevant macroeconomic variables in which you think have improved because of Trump's presidency?
Yeah, so basically before, the economy, everything was just so much more expensive. Even when you just go to the grocery store, and I mean, now that Trump is president, it's just so much cheaper.
Okay, well, I mean, I don't think that's true. We've actually seen a stagnant increase in core inflation because of his tariffs and his exorbitantly expensive economic policy, such as the $3.4 trillion that's going to be spent because of the big beautiful bill. So that claim is false. In fact, the Federal Reserve has now slowed the rate at which they're cutting interest rates because Donald Trump's policy is so inflationary.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Quick question. Would you ever support a president that has openly boasted about perving on underage naked teenage girls?
Nah, I actually wouldn't.
You actually wouldn't? Did you know that's something that Trump has done?
Yeah, I actually do know that's something he's done.
So you don't support Trump?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, dude, that was a contradiction. You told us that you wouldn't support a president that's done this. You know that Trump's done this, yet you support him as president.
Oh, then yeah, I support that he does that.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm gonna go and kick you out now, Oliver. I mean, you just told us that you straight up support perving on underage teenage girls. Yeah, we're gonna move on to our next guest. If you happen to be in that queue, make sure that you're at least 18 and you support Trump. I think that I really hope that he didn't mean that. It's bad to say that. It's really bad to say that, regardless if you truly believe it or not. It's really bad, but it's worse if he truly fucking means it. I hope that he didn't actually mean that. We're gonna move on to the next guest. Welcome in. Do you support Trump? Outwork Society, you are now going to get banned. This is the third time you've been in my queue in the last 25 minutes, and you have not spoken once, so you're banned now. For the 9.2 thousand people tuning in on TikTok, guys, make sure that we're double tapping away in that phone screen and sharing that live. And if you support Trump, put a mag in that chat with your age. Welcome in. What's going on? Age, please?
18.
What year were you born in?
2004.
So you actually can't be 18, born in '04, but good try though, bud. Moving on, here we go. Next guest, we got Holly loading up. Make sure if you're in that queue, you're MAGA. Please, 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 please. Looks like we got a bunch of kids loading up today. I'd really appreciate some older people. But it looks like the older people that come up, they just want to like chirp and hate. Like that last guy, I forget his name, but he was like mid 40s and he was up here like, oh, dude, you don't have a job. You suck, you suck, you suck. And then when it came around to asking him why he supports Trump, he said, oh, I got to run. I'm on my lunch break. So I don't really know. It looks like the older people are just truly scorned. We're moving on to the next guest right now. Hopefully we're able to find one person that does support Trump that wants to come up here and have a debate. And by the way, if you're watching and you want to support me, you want to support what we do here, I actually have my Venmo, my PayPal, and the link tree in my bio. I get 100% of the proceeds sent to me over this platform, so it'll go directly to me as well. So you get a shout out like Lauren. She donated $10 over on Venmo, saying I'm having the worst day ever, but I got the live notification and I'm feeling a little bit better now. Lauren, I hope that the live helps you feel better, and I'm sorry that you're having a rough day. If we could please show some extra love to Lauren because she's having a rough day down below in that chat, that would mean a lot to me. As well as Martina with the $10 over on PayPal. Thank you so much for the love, saying I'm from Argentina. I watch your debates every day. That's awesome, Martina. Show some love to Lauren and Martina down below while we're working on getting the next Trump supporter loaded in. W's for Lauren and W's for Martina. Who do we have? It looks like Pizza Slayer 1101 doesn't want to chat. He's leaving, so we're moving on to Mr. JMDY. Hello, James.
Why? Hello.
DY.
Mate, how the fuck am I in here? I never even requested.
What?
What? I never even pressed the button. How am I in this?
Oh, no worries, dude. Moving on to the next guest. Here we go, everyone. All right, who is next? We got X3 Dane loading up in. Here we go, everybody. We got X3 Dane loading up in, and Kim, thank you for the galaxy. I appreciate that. Moving on to the next guest right now. We got CAO loading up in right now. Hello, CAO. Do you support Trump?
Do I support him? I'm not sure, but I'd like to.
All right. Well, because you're not sure, and honestly, you sound like you're from Britain. Unfortunately, I'm going to kick you guys. What are we going to do? What are we going to do about getting people to follow the rules? I don't know. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Yes.
Age, please?
19.
Okay, I mean, it says that you're 18 in your bio, but I guess it doesn't matter if you're 18 or 19. Either works.
Okay, I did. Yeah, I thought it said 18 plus, to be honest, but.
Oh, no, so true. It does say 18 plus. What year are you born in?
06.
06? Okay. All right, I trust you. Adorable, thank you so much for the $10 super chat over on YouTube. Adorable didn't leave a message. Just the love. I appreciate you for the $10, Adorable. Okay, take it away. Why do you support Trump?
So, to be honest, I'm going to start with I'm very uneducated and, like, very, like kind of don't know what I'm talking about. So I'm just going based off of, like, what I've kind of seen and experienced in my life. So, like, maybe not recently, but in Trump's term in 2020, like when he started, I believe, I did kind of what the other guest Oliver was saying. I did also notice that things like, you know, gas, groceries, kind of regular stores were cheaper. And I'm noticing that obviously now it's still high. However, I noticed it went even higher when Biden was president.
Okay.
So
it sounds like you're more here just to get educated, which I think is awesome. I will say, like, the better place to kind of gain a little bit of a better understanding of what's going on in American politics is just probably watching the live and, like, debates with other people that think they have a position. But I'll still answer, like, to that and kind of explain the inflation that we saw under the Biden-Harris administration. But after that, I will probably move on. So the reason why we saw so much inflation under the Biden-Harris administration and nothing to do with them or their policy, I understand that you believe that because that's everything that the right was saying, everything that Trump was saying, and then Biden and Harris kind of failed to give good messaging or like adequate counter arguments. But that inflation was global, and that inflation was onset by the pandemic and by disruptions in the supply chain caused by the pandemic. We saw the same inflation in every country in Europe. We saw the same inflation in every country in Africa, Asia, Australia, etc. And, you know, if there was people living in Antarctica, we would have seen it there too. Now, comparing our rebound from that inflation because of the economic policies set forth by Biden and Harris to the rebound experienced in other countries in the G7, which are, you know, super big countries, a lot of them are in Europe, we had a quicker rebound than them. So we actually we did good. We did a lot better than other countries. And that was in part because of the strength of the policy passed by Biden and Harris. And they didn't cause that inflation.
All right. Okay. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming up. Good question, and I hope that you stick around and you listen to other conversations so you could gain an even better understanding about a whole lot of other things. Because trust me when I say that Republicans like to bring up and talk about a whole lot more than inflation under Biden. Welcome in, Pooch. Do you support Trump? Okay, it doesn't look like Pooch is here. Guys, if you do want to join, go back to put in a MAGA with your age down below in that comment section. I'll pull you up here. We're just looking for some good constructive dialogue with people on the other side of the aisle. It doesn't seem like we're finding a whole lot of it today. We are 30 minutes into the stream with only like 1 2-minute conversation under our belt so far. So please follow the rules. Hop in that queue if you support Trump. Welcome in. Are you MAGA?
No, I'm not. Real quick, man.
I'm sorry, Cole. I do got to kick you, man, because we do want to find a debate. I appreciate you for coming up, though, man. Cole, I wish that you would have followed the rules, dude. That goes for everybody else as well. Where you got that next guest loading in right now? Welcome in. Do you support Trump, Caden?
Yo, I do. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I sure can, man. How old are you?
I'm 19.
Cool. Real quick before we hop into things, I need to thank a couple people. Lauren, thank you for the $10 donation over on Venmo 12 minutes ago. Actually, I already thanked you, Lauren. Tilly with a 50 cents, I appreciate that. Emma with a $5, saying, hey, Dean, what is your thoughts on the American Eagle Sydney Sweeney ad? Bro, I was watching that, and, I was, like, trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. Like, maybe, like, they just didn't know that it was, like, a Nazi dog whistle. But I don't know. After watching it, man, there's just, like, no way, bro. Like, they were talking about her good genes, zooming in on her blue eyes and blonde hair. That shit was weird. I'll be honest. That shit was weird. And then something else that, I don't think enough people have been talking about is how it's like perfectly mirroring like an ad that Brooke Schofield did for Calvin Klein when she was 14. And like, we know that she was exploited by Calvin Klein. We know that she was exploited by Hollywood, exploited by companies. And she's talked about that a lot, how she's exploited in her youth. So it's like just really weird to be taking inspiration from, an ad of Brooke Shields. Sorry, not Brooke Schofield. I apologize. Brooke Shields. When she was 14 being exploited by these companies. Anyways, good question, and thank you for the $5. As well as Mal with the $5 as well, saying thanks for streaming while I have COVID. I hope that you rebound, Mel. Thank you for being here. And then Shauna with the $10 to help pay for your non-job to keep MAGA angry. By the way, keep being awesome. Appreciate you, Sandra. Show some love to Shauna down below, not Chandra. Shauna, thank you. And then Olivia with the $5 as well. Thank you so much. And then Sandra, there we go. That's who I was referencing. Thank you for the $50 donation over on Venmo. Sandra did let me know that I shouldn't read her message out loud, so you got it. I'll keep it to myself. But thank you for the love, Sandra. If we could please get 500 Sandra W's in all of the live chats right now, it would mean the world to me. Thank you so much, Sandra. That is so much love. As well as Tristan with the $15, saying I think that your achievements are amazing, Dean. I'm 20, at the same age as you, and born a day before you. You're a huge inspiration to me. Well, thank you for the love, Tristan. And then Bryn with the $5 as well. I appreciate you guys so much. Now, back to the guest. If you'd like to take it away and tell us why you support Trump, you have my full attention.
Okay, so, I mean, I don't know. Felt like the prices were better whenever he was. I know that's like probably the main thing everybody talks about. I don't know. I just think like actually living was easier, and now that like actually an adult, I see how much like the prices have actually gone up for like, I don't know. I wouldn't call us lower class people, but we're definitely not higher class. I will say that. I don't know. I just feel like things were better generally.
So prices were lower 10 years ago than they are today. So that is true. That is super true. And if we were having this conversation in 2016 and we looked back in 2006, prices would have been lower than do. Right? And now if you want to make an argument that like the last Democratic administration did something special to really increase the price of goods, feel free to make that. But I mean, if we're just wanting to be forward thinkers here, looking at what's to come and what's in the future. What's that?
They didn't though. Like other Republicans didn't do anything. You're right about that. Like to change the prices or anything. I don't think they really tried as much.
So what about Trump do you support today? Why do you consider yourself a Trump supporter right now?
Because it was easier to live.
During his first term?
Like right now, I'm scraping by paycheck to paycheck.
Oh, who's president right now?
During his first term, I feel like it was easier to live.
Who's president right now?
Biden or Trump?
Right, Trump.
Trump.
You said right now you're scraping by paycheck to paycheck.
Right. because we're still cleaning up. What the fuck?
Okay, he left. That was a little bit of a confusing one. That was an oddball. He said, like, what the fuck right before. I mean, I hope everything is okay with him. He said, like, what the fuck right before he left. I hope he's okay. That was a little bit of an odd one, though. Alyssa, thank you so much for the $20 super chat over on YouTube. That is ALYSSA. Thank you so much. Alyssa says, I'm honestly terrified for my 10-year-old's future, and you give me so much hope. Your class, passion, and intelligence are super refreshing. What you do is difficult and so important. Keep fighting the good fight. Alyssa, you are so kind. You know, let me tell you, I love reading these donation messages. They mean the world to me. Alyssa, thank you. Truly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. If everybody watching could show some love to Alyssa, that would mean a lot to me. Also, welcome in, Pat, if you just, hold off for a second. I got a couple more people to thank here. And then, dude, oh my God, Katie, with the $80 donation over on Venmo. Jeez Louise, Katie. Thank you. That is so kind. Let's get 800 KDWs for such a kind donation. Let's also make sure that we read Katie's message here. Katie says, your streams are incredibly educational and truly have given me some stats to back up what I already knew. Also, could you talk a little bit about your view on putting an age cap on the presidency as well as other political position? Lots of love. For sure, Katie, I'll quickly go over that before we hop into this next conversation with Pat down here. Thank you for the $80 donation once again. I think that all public offices should have age caps. And I mean, I don't know what's good. 70, 75, 80. I just think it's important that we have somebody that's younger, not only because our cognitive abilities dissipate the older that we get, but also because they're going to be more connected to that average American, to that younger generation. I feel like that's important, right? Now, welcome in, Pat. Do you support Trump?
Hey, I do.
All right, Mr. Pat. We just got another donation in from Isabel. I'll go ahead and read that one off in a bit. I'm going to let you take the mic away and tell us why you support Trump. Go for it.
Yeah, I think the reason I originally supported him was because, man, he was just someone who came in and called out just the bullcrap of the establishment, all the forever wars, all of that. Now, a lot of that's changed. That's something, honestly, that was really big for me, was all these wars we were in, which we know we should not have been in. There were no weapons of mass destruction. But I feel like this is something both sides, want to do just to keep that money train rolling.
Isn't this what he's doing, though?
I am kind of changing my stance on him this year. He has not been doing the stuff he ran on. Now he has like the illegal immigration. That's something that we wanted to see but now that we're seeing it, like I thought he was going to go after criminals, cartel members, but man, he's been arresting. Like I'm a pastor, and like when I see people just being arrested on the street, and deported, they're not going in front of a judge. They're not dealing with any of this stuff. They're just being taken out of the country. And
right,
it's hard to watch.
He wants to do a mass removal of all undocumented immigrants in the country. Not only is it hard to watch because it's a humanitarian nightmare. Anybody with empathy should disagree with what we're seeing, ripping families apart and sending kids with cancer to El Salvador. But I mean, it's also like really bad for us in this country. It's bad for everybody. It hurts our economy. It reduces, our economic growth, our GDP. It makes our manufacturers less productive. I mean, there's just not like an identifiable pro of, his policy on immigration. Now, if you're telling me that, you've started to shift your perspective of him calling out the BS from the establishment, obviously he's a part of the establishment. He is the establishment. The Epstein file should prove that. And ending the forever wars, he obviously hasn't done that. Right, just further emboldening Israel, weakening Ukraine, to embolden Russia, and did start a momentary war with Iran. It sounds like you don't really have many reasons to still consider yourself to be MAGA, unless you do. And if that's the case, I'll give you the mic. What are the reasons that you possess that still make you align yourself with the Trump presidency?
Yeah, I think I've come from a conservative Republican family. I don't consider myself a Republican now. I'm more independent. Like, man, if a Democrat came out that said we wanted to have secure borders, I would be all for that. I'm just sick of the gaslighting from both sides. Now, Trump, I align most with, just some of his policies. And I am anti, I'm I'm anti-pro-choice. Like, I believe in the sanctity of life. And I know I don't really want to get into that because I've watched all your videos and stuff, and we're just going to go around and around.
Wait, let's get into it. We
But
don't even need to have a debate on abortion. We don't.
Okay.
We don't even need to like debate the morality of abortion because you said that you're a pastor, right? Which denomination are you?
So right now I'm Assemblies of God.
Assemblies of God. I've never heard of that before.
It's Pentecostal.
Pentecostal.
And so
okay.
their denomination, so we can put our money together and send thousands and thousands of missionaries like across the world.
Is it mainline or more fundamentalist?
No, I think it's like the third biggest denomination in the world.
Okay, so it's like pretty mainline, pretty mainstream.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, pretty liberal then. So I mean, I think that you should probably be receptive to the view here. So I mean, I think that you can be a Christian, you could think that abortion's wrong, but still like think that it should be legal because of a recognition that we shouldn't use like our religious values to influence the legislation of a state. And I'll give you an argument for this real quick. Can we agree that nowhere in the Bible does it clearly represent a framework to determine how wrong a sin is? And like the closest thing that we have to said framework would be Romans, when we learn that all sins fall short of the glory of God outside of blasphemy, and maybe like the 7 big sins detailed in Corinthians. But outside of that, it's really hard for us to distinguish the level of wrongness of a sin in the eyes of God, right?
Well, I think like when Jesus came, he kind of changed this, just the thought work, the framework everyone had. You know, everyone talked about the 613 Old Testament laws, the 10 Commandments. Jesus came and he said, hey, if you've even looked at a woman with lust, you've committed adultery with her in her heart.
Well,
like
okay.
God sees it as the same thing. If you've murdered, or if you've even hated someone, you've murdered someone. The thing is this: we all sin. We all fall short of God's glory.
Right.
But
that's kind of my that's kind of my point. I want to hone in on that. You know, I'm expecting you to be like preachy because you're literally a preacher. But I do just kind of
am I being preachy?
A little bit, but it's okay. It's okay. A little bit, but it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I understand. We're having a conversation about religion, so it's going to come up. Not to mention that you're a literal fucking pastor, so I wouldn't expect anything else. But it looks like you just kind of told me what I was just trying to argue, that you know, you lust over somebody, you commit adultery. You know, you hate somebody, you've committed murder. All sins fall short of the glory of God. So here's my take. Would you be able to give me an argument that you know, lying to your child and telling them that Santa Claus exists is any more or less morally wrong than getting an abortion?
Dude, you're wanting to go deep, Dean. So in God's eyes, you know, as you study sin in the Bible, all sin, you know, all sin is sin. You know, you stealing bubble gum as a kid and lying is a sin the same way as aborting a baby.
Right. And that, I'm so happy we just agreed on that. Honestly, sir, if you're good faith, I think that we're going to come to an agreement. A sin is a sin. Stealing bubblegum as a baby is just as wrong as getting an abortion. Right. The issue here is you're telling us that abortion should be illegal and women should be banned from accessing it because it is a sin. But if all sin is equal, does this mean that it should also be illegal to lie and to tell your children that Santa Claus isn't real? Should it be illegal to lust over a woman? Should it be illegal to tell a white lie to a distant relative? Should these things be illegal? And if your answer is no, they're sins, but they shouldn't be illegal. They're going to have to answer for God and hopefully repent one day if they want to go to heaven. Well, then you have no clear reason why you then turn around and tell me that other sins should be illegal, like abortion.
Yeah, and you know, off the top of my head, I don't really have like a good argument for that. That's something I have to sit and think about. And I'm sure people do, but like you know, from a sin level, like, yes, all sins are equal, but, you know, at the same time, like, man, the murder of a child, like Jesus said, man, what was the verse where he talked about anyone who harms a child, man, like, you're going to get a millstone around your neck and thrown into the ocean. It was a metaphor, but like, there's something even more about harming a child. When it comes to sin, like, gosh, I wish I would have prepared some stuff for this. I was just scrolling on TikTok.
You're good. What you're describing is your moral intuition that you're superimposing on top of the text of the Bible. I'm not going to expect you to sit here and tell me that in your heart, you think that lying to a child about the existence of Santa Claus invokes the same reaction or despair in your heart as murdering a child under your view, right? I would expect you to obviously find one to be worse than the other. Now, that's coming from you, right? That's not coming from the scripture. That's not coming from the eyes of God. I mean, I think when I went to Catholic school, what I learned is trying to understand the eyes of God is like an ant trying to understand a computer. But basically what you're telling me here is the standard that you use to dictate the conclusion that abortion should be legal in America is not coming from a standard of the eyes of God, your faith, or the scripture of the Bible, but is coming from the standard of you. Right. And
Well,
I think that you'd have to give a damn compelling argument in order to convince me and everybody else listening that we should use your standard of your thoughts and feelings to legislate on the access to healthcare of like 66 million American women and girls.
yeah, I mean, I guess I am, putting my views on everyone else. I think society is better when we're not killing millions of babies a year. Now, I do believe like if there's, a lot of the situations like where the mother's gonna die and like, or if there's rape or incest, like I don't think
Yeah.
a lot of conservatives don't agree with this, but I think the mother should have the choice then. But when it's someone who's in the 7th, 8th month, especially late term, but even early term, where it's just, I just don't want to have a baby yet. I'm super against that. And I'm fine, I'm fine putting that view on everyone else because I think that's a line that we as a nation should not be crossing.
Okay. So you said something there. You said, I think that society is better when we're not killing millions of babies per year. So obviously the killing millions of babies, that's just going to be like an loaded, like an emotionally loaded rhetorical description of what you think abortion is. But it's fine. We'll go with it. Because that statement is worse. Sorry, not that statement is worse. That statement is false. So society is actually not better when we limit women's access to abortion. And this is something that we're going to be debating empirically, right? We're not going to be pulling from the Bible. We're not going to be pulling from our moral intuitions, what we think is right or what we think is wrong. We're like just literally going to be pulling from statistics of what is the empirical outcome when we ban access to abortion? What is the empirical outcome when we allow it? And what is that outcome's impact on society? Does it make it better or does it make it worse? Well, what we see is that in areas with pro-life legislation where they're not killing these babies, we see lower levels of education. We see lower levels of income on average. We see higher levels of poverty and lower levels of happiness. Why? Because instead of fostering an environment where the only families that exist are those that opt to exist willingly, which is more typically seen in financially well-off adults, it's now shifting the family dynamic into forcing young boys and girls, 18, 19, 20-year-old men and women into being parents because their state legislators have decided that that woman's body should be forced as an incubator for the next 9 months. We are forcing children in households that are unready and not accepting instead of allowing children to be born into households that are ready and are accepting. And I mean, this not only has societal outcomes, but it also impacts children, right? And that's really important to remember and consider that we just simply do see better societal outcomes when women have access to abortion. And denying access to abortion of women specifically just causes more poverty amongst women. Did you know that having a child is the main cause of poverty in young women and girls in this country? So I say we keep more women out of poverty, we keep more families centered on financially well-off adults that want to have kids, and we keep children out of the adoption and foster care systems where they experience higher rates of DV, higher rates of DRUG abuse, higher rates of SA and violent crime by simply allowing women to actuate upon their fundamental right to bodily autonomy and access abortion. And to take it one step further, if we want to get complex with things, I just don't simply identify any reason why I should give any moral value to the life of a fetus. I don't think it's humanity that does it. I don't think my DNA is what makes me valuable. I think it's the subjective experiences and the way that I interact with the world around me that makes me valuable. If a kid cries, if a kid dies, I'm not going to cry because we lost a member of our species. I'm going to cry because we're losing this young, innocent child who's had these new, unique, educational experiences with the world around them and this whole life in front of them based upon the life that they've already experienced. And that's why I don't really value the life of a fetus until around 20 through 24 weeks, because before that point, they don't have sentience. They don't have consciousness. They can't interact with the world around them at all, right? So I don't think that it's harmful to kill them.
Well, I think that's where our views are going to differ, because when I look at a baby, I don't just see human cells, DNA. I see someone as a Christian who is made in the image of God. And I think the church has failed a lot in this whole issue, when I think the church should be leading the forefront on adoption programs and foster care programs. And it's just not something churches are doing, and something like you might want to even trust a church to do, because all the crap that we've seen, you know, and some of the stats you were talking about, how these kids are getting harmed in a lot of these places.
So what about
And
this? I know, go ahead and finish.
Oh, I was just going to say this, man. I think we live in a broken world, and man, we just need Jesus. That's really what I believe.
Well, if you're telling me that your position on why abortion is morally wrong ultimately does just, extend back to that root of Christianity, well, then I'll just kind of repeat the argument that I gave you earlier. Continue to think that abortion is morally wrong. I'm not going to try to convince you or to change your mind otherwise, because that would be convincing you to reject Christianity. But just, begin to endorse a position that you're not going to impose that view on others through legislation because of the issues that I've already pointed out. There's just no coherent understanding or explanation of how you can say that abortion is a sin, therefore it should be illegal, but lying to your child and telling them that Santa Claus exists is also a sin, but shouldn't be illegal. You just can't make an argument for that that's logically coherent. Any way you try to yield these different conclusions that one sin should be permitted and one sin shouldn't, legally speaking, will just result in a logical contradiction. And I don't think that we should be using these contradictory pragmatic beliefs to vote for or endorse legislation. You know, like, as far as I'm concerned, the logic underpinning your position of why you think it should be illegal is very similar to the logic of a white supremacist that endorses racial segregation. You look at them and you'll ask them, well, why do you think that white people should be allowed in these spaces, but black people shouldn't? They're not going to be able to give you a good explanation at all. They're going to sit there, they'll ponder, and they just won't really know. They just know that for whatever reason, they think it should be that way. Even though both black men and white men are human beings with the same amount of dignity and value, and their distinction there between the two groups of individuals is baseless, meaningless, and outside of logic. I kind of look at your argument here similarly, where you're saying that both getting an abortion is a sin and lying to your child telling them that Santa Claus exists is a sin, but for whatever reason you make a baseless distinction between these two sins, saying one should be allowed in society and one shouldn't, even though you've already admitted in the eyes of God, which is your perfect moral standard, they're just as morally wrong as one another.
Yeah, no, I get that, but there's something deeper. Like, this isn't just about what is a sin, what isn't a sin. Like, as a Christian, and this is where the disconnect, this is why this is never going to get solved, and this will always be a debate in our country. As a Christian, we believe these babies are valued, created by God, made in his image, and we just, I guess we see the worst situations, a mother who, this is her third abortion. She's in her 8th month. Like, we see that stuff a lot, and that stuff does happen a lot. But I'll never be for it. I will always be against abortion.
Once again, I'm not asking you to be for abortion. I'm telling you that you could still think that abortion is morally wrong, just not supporting legislation to ban it. And also, what did you just say?
What do you mean?
Everybody in my chat is saying that you're wrong. No, it doesn't. You made a claim. I probably wasn't listening. What did you say?
I don't know what they're saying.
I feel like everybody in my chat is spamming that you're lying. What am I lying abortions about? At 8 months? So elective lethal abortions at 8 months. That doesn't happen. I've been debating abortion for about 3.5 years now. I've never been quoted one instance of a woman getting an elective lethal abortion at that point. Now, is there states where it's technically illegal? Yes. But do the abortion practitioners in those states perform those abortions? No. Like in my state, Colorado, there's no legislation to enforceably ban elective abortions at any point throughout the term. But the Planned Parenthood Code of Conduct will only allow elective abortions until around 24 weeks. So, no, there's not elective lethal abortions that happen at 9 months, 8 or 9 months. I've never seen it before. That's just called birth, right? And then once again, I mean, I feel like I'm still not getting a good response to my argument to demonstrate that you have no good argument to support banning abortion, legally speaking, although you think it's morally wrong. You told me that it extends further beyond it just being a sin or not. So you're basically telling me that you're upholding a moral standard outside of your God. Is that not heresy?
Well, no, I am against murder, and that's what I believe it is.
Okay, well, I mean, the same way you told me that murder is just as wrong as lying to your child and telling them that Santa Claus exists, you're against both of those things, but you think that one should be illegal and one should be legal. How do you explain that logically?
They're both sins.
All right, they're both sins that are the same in the eyes of your moral standard. Who are you to say that one should be allowed and one shouldn't?
I mean, well, that's what I said earlier. Like, I understand your guys' arguments. Like, you don't think
It's not even an argument, it's a question.
You don't think Christians should be putting their view on everyone, especially in government. I'm fine with that. I think it's so egregious. I am okay if half the country is against it.
Do you mind if I just quickly ask? Like, I'm actually not even arguing that Christians shouldn't be imposing their views in legislation. Although I do argue that. That's not the argument I'm making to you. The argument I'm making to you is that you're just cherry picking which views you want to impose and which views you don't. Your argument is that abortion bad, therefore it should be legal. But you also think that lying to your children, telling them that Santa Claus exists is just as bad, and you think that should be legal. How can you explain this difference in which sins you want to criminalize and which sins you don't want to criminalize without appealing to a moral standard outside of your God, making yourself a heretic?
How does that make me a heretic?
Because you're telling us that wrong and right can come from some other place than the perfect, all-knowing, all-good God.
How is that not coming from God?
Because you're the one that has already accepted the fact that lying to your child about Santa Claus's existence is identically just as morally wrong as getting an abortion in the eyes of said God. But in your mind, one is more wrong than the other, and because of that, you think one should be allowed and one shouldn't.
Yeah, and I mean, I did my best to explain that. I've said it like 3 times. The Bible says we are all made in the image of God, and when someone destroys something created by God, a human made in His image, listen, I will always be against that.
Yeah, it's a sin. The conclusion of what your response to what I'm saying is that it's a sin.
But it's something like it's deeper.
So you're saying that you think that you have a sufficiently you think that you have an argument that in accordance with the scripture, the sin of getting an abortion is more wrong than the sin of lying. Is that what you're telling me? Like, can you affirm or deny that statement? The sin of getting an abortion is worse than the sin of lying.
I mean, from a strictly sin standpoint, I mean,
strictly from the standpoint of the eyes of your God.
Yeah, I think sin is sin.
So one is not more wrong than the other. Okay, so that just means when you tell me that lying should be legal, but abortion should be illegal, you're coming to this conclusion off of some standard other than the fact that they're bad, right? Because if it was about how bad they are, how wrong they are, how immoral they are, well, then you'd hold to the same, one moment, then you'd hold to the same legal standard about lying to your children of Santa Claus's existence as you would holding to a standard of getting an abortion, because they're just as wrong, bad, and immoral as one another. The standard would be the same for both sins, but the standard is not the same for both sins, insofar as the fact that you think one should be socially allowed and the other should be illegal. So this just means the wrongness of the action, the immorality of getting an abortion or lying, is not a consideration to you when you come to the conclusion that abortion should be illegal. Unless you're logically contradicting yourself and you're telling me that even though both of these actions are just as wrong as one another, one should be allowed and one shouldn't, with no explanation at all.
Yeah, I mean, I get your point. I do get your point. I'm sure someone else could argue this way better. I've never argued about abortion in my life with someone. To be fair,
this is more of a theological conversation than an abortion conversation. I'm not
Well,
testing the
no.
water with your view on why you think abortion's immoral. We're testing how the stronghold of the Christian faith and the scripture we read in the Bible can apply to a criminal justice system inside of a society. And I think that we see that test fails, right? I ultimately think that the test of its consistency when applied to a criminal justice system fails every single time. So what does this tell us? That we either need to be raging Christian theocrats, where we think it should be illegal to tell your children that Santa Claus exists, or that it should be illegal to look at a woman in lust, or we need to accept and endorse a secular society with a secular criminal justice system, completely separate and distinct from any moral conclusions that you yield from your scripture.
Yeah, I disagree with you, and I think the whole argument is so silly, trying to compare, the sin of lying to the sin of murder, and I think it's silly.
Then
And
you're calling your God
you're
silly.
you're
Listen,
a really good.
Listen, Pat.
What?
In calling that silly, you're not calling me silly. You're not calling my argument silly. You're calling your God silly.
How am I calling my God silly?
Because you and me both agree that those sins are identical in the eyes of your God. So why would a comparison be silly
Well,
unless you're
that's a
calling that
deep.
God's
That's a
view
deeper.
of the wrongness of those sins wrong?
No, that's a deeper talk to have, and about when it comes down to it, sin is sin. But they're within sin. Any sin separates you from God. But within sin, there are some sins that are worse than other sins, like harming a child.
How do we yield that conclusion from the scripture? Please, if you could give me an argument, I would love to hear you out. If you could give me,
if you want me to go grab my Bible real fast,
scripture-based argument where we can yield the conclusion from the scripture on its own that we are more than just in believing that getting an abortion is any more wrong than lying to your child about the existence of God, I will concede right now. I just don't think that argument exists. I think the only people that have that argument are the Catholics and the Orthodox people, because they endorse the magisterium, or the normative authority of their church leaders. And see, their church leaders came across this issue of not being able to identify the wrongness of sins in relation to one another to appropriately run a society a very long time ago. So they set forth precedents of different categories of sins related to their overall moral wrongness. See, the Catholics, they've done this for a while, but you're not a Catholic. You don't believe in that normative authority of the church fathers. You don't believe in the magisterium. You just believe in sola scriptura. What you read in the Bible is the word of God and nothing more than that. And we shouldn't grant the infallible authority of the Holy Spirit or the hand of God to any man outside of the words of the Bible. And endorsing sola scriptura, rejecting that magisterium or the normative authority of the leaders, you don't have an argument that one sin is any worse than others.
Well, I want to go back to what you said. You said, show me in the Bible where it says anything about harming kids is worse. Look what Jesus said. It's better for you to have a millstone tied around your neck and thrown into the ocean than to harm one of these little ones.
Okay, so you're telling
Am
us...
I getting cooked? Everyone's saying I'm getting cooked.
Well, so you're telling us that somewhere in the Bible, Jesus says that it's wrong to hurt kids. Doesn't Jesus, or God, say somewhere else in the Bible that it's wrong to lie? Like the Ten Commandments?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then you don't have an argument that it's worse than lying.
How are you going to legislate lying, though? The whole thing comes down to this. Just because Christians believe something... Are you a Christian, Dean?
No, but I study it religiously. See what I did there with the word religiously?
I did see that. Okay. Well, the thing comes down to this. Should Christians be voting in their morals and their biblical beliefs into the government?
No.
I think that's what it comes... You don't think that's what it comes down to?
Well, I think that is actually what it comes down to. I'm just saying the answer to the question would be no. And the really simple explanation of why the answer to the question should be no is because they vote in their beliefs devoid of logic or reason. In voting for one sin to be legal while also holding to the position that another sin should be legal, that's a logically contradictory belief. We shouldn't be using logically contradictory beliefs to enforce legislation or vote for our ideals to be set in stone in our government.
Okay, well...
And then also the statement that you're referencing from Jesus saying that, if you hurt a child, you should be thrown in the ocean. That's pulling from Matthew 18, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's not about abortion.
I believe so. You what?
It's not about abortion.
But it's about harming children.
Well, let's read it. He called a little child to him and placed the child among them. He said, "Truly I tell you, unless you change and become like little children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. Therefore, whoever takes the lowly position of this child is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. Whoever welcomes such child in my name welcomes me." Well, we're not even seeing anything in here that talks about the wrongness.
Go find the verse, bro.
I guess I need to read through the totality of Matthew 18. I'll have to do that later in my free time. But like I said earlier, I don't think that this sets forth any cogent argument to demonstrate that an abortion is any worse than the lie of telling your children that Santa Claus exists.
Well, the original question was, how do you still support Trump? And what I was going to was I was going to say something about like originally supporting him because he was anti-abortion. Then he like backed off that. He's actually like the most pro-abortion Republican we've put out in a really long time. And but I just
No, that's not true.
How's that not true?
What did Bush do to Roe v. Wade? Nothing.
Well, I guess that's true on action, but Trump hasn't. What has Trump done?
Yeah, he elected 3 justices to the Supreme Court with the pure and solo intention of overturning Roe v. Wade.
But they didn't.
They did. In 2021, his nominees overturned Roe v. Wade.
Oh, sorry. I meant what I was thinking was they didn't ban abortion. I apologize.
Well, overturning Roe v. Wade gave states the authority/power to ban abortion, which led to
Yeah,
abortion
that's where I agree it should be in. I'm a small state or big state, small government.
I don't think that's a good argument either.
Well, that's cool.
Because as soon as we start passing things off from being protected on the federal level to the state, who are we to say that the Confederacy was wrong? Isn't that what they wanted?
No, I get it. It can be a slippery slope, but it is on both sides as well.
Well, it's not on both sides because I don't endorse human rights being legislated on the state level.
Okay.
Is there anything else that you'd like to go over with me today here, Pat?
Yeah, I do. I have one more question.
Take it away.
Are you using TikTok Studio? How is your camera so good?
I am. I have a TikTok Studio connected to my Sony A7 III with a really nice capture card to give it that high quality with no latency or delay.
Is it Elgato?
Yeah, it's a little Elgato capture card. Got it plugged into the back of my computer. Now, Pat, I appreciate you for the conversation. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and thank you so much for trying to be kind, not being too angry or explosive. I appreciate that.
Okay, man. I'm just a chill dude, Dean.
Have a good rest
See
of
you,
your day.
man.
All right, we're going to move on to the next guest, guys. Make sure if you're hopping in the queue that you're at least 18 and you support Trump, y'all. Man, that is one of my favorite arguments to run. I love talking to Christians about the legality of abortion. Now, the conversation about the morality of abortion with Christian, that's pretty boring, right? We could all agree conversations about the morality of abortion with a Christian. That's pretty boring.
Hello?
Right, we could all agree. They have quite a crazy echo, plus they're good. That's all pretty boring. It's boring because we could all agree that they think it's wrong because they're made in the image of God. That's the Bible, nothing you can do about it. But on the flip side, how we apply that Bible to a criminal justice system, oh geez, that is one of the best conversations ever. Welcome in, Mr. Parkey. Do you support Trump?
No.
Okay, Mr. Mark, I'm gonna kick you. Guys, if you're in that queue and your answer to the question is no, please don't join that queue. Like, seriously, like right now, if you're in the queue and you would answer the question, do you support Trump with a no, leave the queue, bro. Please, we're just looking to debate Trump supporters. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
Age, please?
25.
25. Awesome, Frank. We're gonna have an awesome conversation. Quickly, before we do, have a couple people to thank. Isabel and Aaron. Holy crap.
I don't know how this conversation is going to go. I might get cooked.
Okay, Frank. Well, I'm going to put you on mute here for a second while I thank 2 people. Aaron and Isabel, I appreciate you both for the $50 donations over on Venmo. Jeez, you guys are so kind. That is Aaron, spelled E-R-I-N. Guys, make sure to show some love to Isabel and Aaron down below in that chat. Isabel, the $50 donation, says, you and Parker have restored my faith in men, especially when it comes to protecting my rights as a woman. Thank you so much for everything that you do and hope this helps you keep your fake job. You know what, Isabel? I appreciate you for your kind words and for keeping me keep the fake job. W's in the chat for Isabel. Then Aaron says you handle the MAGA bullies with grace and you debate and educate us folks with ease. You are an exceptional person. Aaron, your kind words mean the most to me. Let me tell you, I hear a lot of mean words all day with the people on the live. So when I'm reading off those kind words on the donations, they mean the most to me. And I do truly mean that. Make sure that we're showing some love to the two of them down below in the comments section. As well as I'd like to thank Emma with the $15 on PayPal. Emma says, huge fan. I tune in every day. I just wanted to ask your thoughts of the use of slurs in the recent South Park episode. I mean, I never support the use of slurs. I think what they were trying to do there is just kind of detail like what the right is today, which is like true. They do use slurs. That is the way that they act. But of course, I still don't endorse it. Michael, thank you for the $20 over on PayPal. They say, keep up the great work. I continue to find myself back into your live streams. It's encouraging to see somebody as intelligent as you at your age. Michael, that is very kind of you. Let's get 200 Michael W's down below in that comment section. And then Brody, thank you for the $20 as well. 200 Brody W's. Brody says, all these MAGA supporters are making me feel scared. Dude, honestly, if Trump supporters don't scare you, you probably just haven't done enough research. So I endorse your message. Thank you guys so much for the love. If you're watching and you want to support me, like Isabel, like Emma, like Michael, like Brody, like Aaron, you could find my Venmo, my PayPal, and the link tree in my bio on TikTok. Get 100% of the proceeds over there, and you could attach a message that I'll read out. Supports me, supports the stream, and keeps us going for 4 hours a day. You could also find them in the pinned message over in that YouTube stream. Now, Frank, I'm going to go ahead and send you an invite to unmute that mic. Let's hop into the conversation. As soon as that mic does unmute, take it away. Tell us why you support Trump as president.
I support him because he was firm on the things he says he's going to do for this country. I mean, mass deportations he's doing. He stands on his word for the most part. There's some things that don't go through that he says, but most promises are kept by him.
Okay, so he's actually not firm on what he says he wants to do for the country. You know, he ran on releasing the Epstein files. How's that going? He ran on ending the Russia-Ukraine war in 24 hours. How about that? He ran on dropping prices so fast your head would spin on day one. How's that going? He ran on building that wall never happened in his first term. You know?
You know why he's not going to release the Epstein files yet? Because we're not ready for the truth. We're not ready for how many people are on it. Obama, you're talking about tons of people that could put a lot of people in harm.
Do you believe that Trump is on the
reason why
files?
it's not released. It doesn't matter if he is on the file. There's plenty of people on it.
Okay, I think that knowing if our president is a child rapist or not does matter.
Even Kamala Harris might be on it.
Okay.
Surprising.
So, I mean, you're throwing out names. I get it. I want you to answer my question. Do you think that Trump is on the files?
Obviously.
Okay, what do you think the nature of him being on the files is? Do you think he's been to the island? Do you think he's a P3? Do you think he's a child rapist?
I mean, there's proof that they were friends. Obama was friends with him. Joe Biden was friends with him. There's plenty of people that were friends with Epstein. Yes, Joe Biden has been in pictures with Epstein before. They had a relationship. Doesn't mean he participated in anything, but he was a part of the Epstein.
You know, I've never heard the claim that Biden was friends with Epstein. I mean,
Yes,
I'll give you my thoughts of people.
Yes.
I'll give you my thoughts of people on the left being buddies with Epstein and doing the things that he did. Because at the end of the day, I don't really care about your political affiliation.
So you don't think?
Do you mind if you allow me to
you don't
finish?
think Diddy was part?
You're on mute now. I don't really care about your political affiliation, right or left. If you're in the files, if you're doing things to children, you deserve to rot in a jail cell for the rest of your life. And that's a difference between you and me, because you just told me explicitly that you don't even care if Trump is on the files. Meanwhile, I'm over here
I never said
if
that. I never said that.
You did.
I said if they release it, there's plenty of people that are on it.
So you said that you don't care. You said that you don't care.
There's plenty of. I did not say I don't care.
Okay, how much money do you want to put on
if
it?
he's on the files,
How much
if
money do you want to
he
put on
is
it? Hold
the
up.
files-
How much money do you want to put on it? That's what you said.
Obviously, I said it. I know he's on the files, but if he
No.
participated,
You said that you didn't care if he was on the
at
files.
the island.
Listen.
Yes, because he is on the island. But is there any videos of him doing these things? Is
Wait,
there
so
any
you just denied that you said that you didn't care. Now you're affirming that you said that you didn't care. Which one is it? Did you or did you not say that he didn't care?
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying if he's on the files, he should. If he participated in things of sexual abuse to kids, of any of these sorts of things, sex trafficking, he should be removed from office.
I have a question.
But I don't think that's the case. They were friends with him.
Question.
Almost all politicians.
What about sexual abuse, period?
No, he should be removed.
Really? Okay. Well, what if It turns
Yes,
out.
he was accused of
One
SA,
second.
but
One
he
second.
didn't
One
plead
second.
to it.
What if it turns out in the lawsuit that he's launching against the Wall Street Journal right now, with Trump's letter to Epstein, with a picture of a naked woman saying, "May every other day be another wonderful secret," it comes up that he was SAing like kids with Epstein, and then a unanimous jury of 9 inside of that civil court for the lawsuit agrees and finds him guilty of it. Would you say he should be removed from office then?
Absolutely. If
Okay.
he had anything to do with minors, yes,
So,
absolutely.
no, I mean, you also just affirmed section SA period. Minors are adults. We already went over that one. So you
But
just told me, 1 second, Frank, you just told me that if a civil court had a unanimous jury of 9 rule that he's guilty of SA, you think he should be thrown out of office. Did you know that that is exactly what a civil court did in 2022? A unanimous jury of 9 found him guilty for the violent sexual abuse of E. Jean Carroll. And
Yeah,
I
do you know
know
who
that you're
Eugene
probably
Carroll
about to
is?
turn around, contradict yourself, throw all of that baseless virtue signaling, acting like you care about SA out the window, and give me some argument that E. Jean Carroll is crazy and he's innocent. Let's hear the hypocrisy, brother. Live 4K. Take
Oh,
it away.
come on. You know E. Jean Carroll is crazy. Dude,
Wow,
get
he
out of
literally
here.
said exactly
Get
what I
out of
say
here.
he'd say.
Yeah, because you know it's true. That's why you even stated it. Come on, get out of here.
Yeah.
Okay,
No, man.
come on,
It's the best
Come on,
possible.
Dean.
It's just the best
Come on,
possible
Dean.
argument
You're
ever.
just scared that Biden's on the Epstein files too, and you also don't want it to get released because your daddy, Poppy JoJo, is going to be on those files. Okay?
So
and
saying
you're
that-
going to see
Hey,
when
Frank.
when it gets released, it's not going to get released from
Frank,
President Trump. I'll tell you that.
what
It's
you're
going to get
doing-
leaked by someone else.
What you're
and
doing
it's
right-
you're gonna see what happens.
What you're doing right now is called a gish gallop. Okay? More so a deflection. It's called the deflection. Now, the reason I call what you're doing a deflection is because I bring up a point that puts you in a corner and forces you to either endorse impeaching Trump or to be a raging hypocrite and embarrass yourself. You shot for the latter. You called Agent Carroll crazy. You are now a raging misogynistic hypocrite that is embarrass yourself. Now, you don't want to talk about that. You don't want to address it. So then in the next breath, you said, "Oh, Biden's on the files, Dean. You don't want to be released." So Daddy Joe isn't pointed out. So we'll talk about the files.
proof
Okay,
that they
Biden,
had
can
a
you let me
relationship.
talk? Act your age, Frank. I know you can, even though you're a Trump supporter. You could act your age. You're gonna let me talk. Thank you, Frank. So instead of muddying those waters, you're still not letting me talk, Frank. What will it be? Act like a kid and get kicked, or act your age and have a productive dialogue. Which one?
I'm gonna act my age. I'm talking to you, but I don't like that you're lying.
I told a lie. What lie did I tell?
You're just dodging the facts that your JoJo is on the list.
Okay. Well, now you're positioning my lack of a response to your deflection as a dodge. That's a very bad faith debate tactic. I'm more than willing to talk to you about relationships between Joe Biden and Epstein as soon as we can finish out our conversation about my point that I brought up, exposing you as a hypocrite. I'd call you the one that is currently dodging. Now, to go back to that without deflection this time, you told us if a civil court had held Trump liable for SA, you'd think he should be impeached. I informed you that's exactly what a civil court has done, and then you just called the victim crazy. So what is your sufficient reason to believe that that civil court that held Trump liable for the violent sexual abuse of E. Jean Carroll got it wrong and he's innocent? Let's hear the argument.
Not enough proof.
Not enough proof? Name one piece of proof that was submitted by E. Jean Carroll and her defense into that courtroom.
She's literally proven herself as a psychopath.
Well, that's definitely not an answer to my question. Do you need me to re-ask it once again? Because you said that you don't believe the conclusion of that court because you didn't think there was enough proof. So name one piece of proof submitted by her in her defense into that courtroom that convinced the jury that Trump was guilty.
34 counts of what Trump has is all bullshit.
Yeah,
and
his 34 felonies adjudicated by another court in another year have nothing to do with the question that I'm asking you. Once again, I'll repeat it for a third and final time, Frank. You said you do not believe the conclusion formed by the unanimous jury as it relates to Donald Trump's guilty verdict for raping E. Jean Carroll because you don't think there is enough proof. I'm going to have you listen very closely to this question because you've now successfully deflected away from it 3 times. If you're telling me there wasn't enough proof, you're telling me the jury ruled his guilt without enough evidence, meaning you know the evidence that was submitted into that courtroom. Name one piece of evidence that was submitted into that courtroom.
I just told you.
No, you didn't. You talked about his felonies and you talked about calling her crazy. You didn't name a piece of evidence submitted into the courtroom, Frank. Try again.
You overtalked me, so you didn't hear me.
I definitely did cut you off once you started to name irrelevant side points that had nothing to do with the question that I asked you for the productivity of the dialogue. I'm going to give you the mic. I'm not going to cut you off. Just answer the question. What's one piece of proof submitted to that courtroom that the jury used to rule Trump's guilt?
There was no proof. That's the thing.
Okay. How much money do you want to bet on the claim that there's literally not a single shred of evidence submitted during discovery to the jury to rule his guilt?
Dean, how the hell are you gonna bet me? Hey, what are we betting? Freaking lollipops over here?
No.
You got any money you can donate? Okay, how much money you got? Toss up some money.
How much money do you want to bet? There was not a single piece of evidence submitted to discovery inside of the Trump v. E. Jean Carroll civil court case.
You want to go ban for ban, buddy?
Do you want to bet a ban?
I don't give a crap what you want to bet. You think I'm gonna pay you?
Oh, so you're just telling me that you're not a man of your word? I mean, that's typical of Trump supporters. But at the end of the day, you just said that there wasn't a shred of...
You think you're gonna pay me? You're not gonna give me nothing, bro.
Well, obviously, I'm not going to give you anything because I'm right and you're wrong. Yeah, I'd be making money. I wouldn't be spending the money.
I'm not, man. You're crazy, Dean.
So, I just want to clarify. You are now defending the proposition.
You have so much resources behind you, man. It's not even funny. You got so many resources you can pull out your ass right now. I got nothing.
Well, obviously you have nothing because you yield conclusions with no evidence. Thank you for the glorious self-dunk. You just told us that there's not a single shred of proof submitted to the courtroom inside of the Trump v. E. Jean Carroll civil court case that led him being held civilly liable for rape. You're talking out of your ass, Frank. Of course there was proof. I'll give you one piece just to refute what you said. Her testimony, the testimony of 6 of her friends, and therapist notes from the 90s indicating that she had told somebody that she was raped by Donald J. Trump. Those were itemized pieces of proof that were submitted by her and her representation into that court during discovery that the jury used in part to rule his guilt. So why did you say that there was not a single piece of proof submitted to that courtroom? Why did you just decide to talk out of your ass and throw such a belligerently false claim around?
Let's say if someone accused you of...
No, I don't think that we're going to move on. I think that you're going to answer the question. Once again, the deflections are meaningless. I'm going to hold your fucking hand here. You got to answer what I asked you. You said that there wasn't a single piece of proof submitted into that courtroom. Why did you say something so belligerently false and easy for me to refute?
This is like going against fucking... This is too powerful of a conversation. I'm not ready for this shit. I'm going down to the minor leagues. I got to get out of the big leagues. I joined the wrong fucking creator here.
Honestly, if you join any creator stream and you say that there's no proof submitted to that courtroom, anybody with an IQ over 3 and at least a day worth of research under their belt, they'll tell you you're wrong. It's just an objective fact that there was evidence submitted to that courtroom.
Dean, I'm a huge fan, buddy. Huge fan.
Guys, this
12,000 people in here?
I
don't know how you do it. Hey, just send the followers my way, buddy. I'm trying to gain some followers over here.
I think he's bowing out, everybody. Are you done with the debate, Mr. Frank?
Hey, man. I'll go band for band with you on something else, though. All right?
We're going to move on to the next guest, everybody. Give us a minute to get the next guest up here. Go to put a Mac down below in that chat with your age if you do want to join. As well as Disgusted Veteran. Thank you for the $20 over on YouTube Super Chat, everybody. Let's get 200 veteran W's. They say one of these times I'd like you to debate a Trump supporter and force him to justify the Bone Spurs running cover for white nationalism. If you can expand a little bit on the view, like relating to white nationalism, I'd assume that you're talking about the fact that he dodged the draft. Now, if you could explain that, in its relation to white nationalism, and happily ask somebody to explain that. We're going to get the next guest, Justin, up here. Let's also go ahead and check the Venmo. Everyone, just give us a minute. Let's check the Venmo. Oh yeah, we did get a new Venmo from Amy Andrews. Thank you for the $5 on Venmo 10 minutes ago. Thank you for the love, everybody. Show some love to Amy down below for the $5 over on Venmo, as well as Vanessa with the $2. Thank you so much. Then Veronica with the $5 over on PayPal. Thank you, Veronica. And then Charlie with the $12 for quote-unquote saying what a lot of people want to say. Thank you, Charlie. You guys are awesome. Once again, if you're watching and you want to support me, you can find the Venmo and the PayPal in the link tree in the bio. Welcome in, Justin. Do you support Trump?
Hey, man, I know you're going to kick me. I just want to say you changed my views. 8 months ago, I'd have said you were crazy and you would have never made me look at things your way. But I think I finally regret my vote for somebody that I voted for 3 times. I know you want to debate people, so if you kick me, man, I get it. No, like I said, 8 months ago, I'd have told you were crazy and you don't know what you're talking about, but
Justin?
I don't know, man. Voted for the dude 3 times, and
Justin,
probably the first time I actually regret voting for him.
you are awesome, bro. I hope that you have a great rest of your day. I'm proud of you. Everybody else watching is proud of you. Good shit, bro. Good fucking shit. That's what I want to see, man. I'm over here telling a 3-time Trump voter that I'm proud of him, and I fucking am because of his ability to change his mind. That's what I want to see in the world around me. That is my goal. That is why I go live every day, is for people like you, Justin. I appreciate you so much more than you'll ever know, man. You are the reason I do these live streams. And I hope you have a great fucking rest of your day. Fantastic rest of your day. Welcome in AA6. I'm going to go ahead and send you an invite to unmute that mic, man.
Hello?
What's going on? You support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. All right. Well, I'd love to know why. Go ahead and give me an argument. Why should I support Trump? Why do you support Trump? Let's hear it.
I support Trump because I support Trump because back before COVID, we had a great economy, and the economy is getting better now.
Okay.
It's taking longer than we wanted it to, but I mean it's gonna work itself out.
Okay. Well, one second. I'm gonna go ahead and just put you on pause there for a second. For all the viewers on YouTube, on TikTok, I'll ask you guys to be nice, be kind. Let's uphold some decorum, some decency here, everybody. Now, take it away.
Yeah. And see, the thing that makes me mad about my disability is if I was coming up here and agreeing with y'all would be like, oh yeah, he deserves to have a voice. But since I'm on the opposition, people don't think like that, and I understand that. But
you know what? I'll agree with you. I'll actually agree with you. Yeah, I could definitely tell you that if you came up here as a liberal, the chat would be incredibly nice to you. And I think that that's something that we all have to check in ourselves. I'll agree with that.
See, I mean, look, I'm upset about the Epstein files. They should be released. I don't know what's taking so long, but also our meeting liberal creators could ask me if I really believe that is there any Democrats in the Epstein file? And my answer is absolutely, because if you think no Democrats are on the Epstein file, that means that y'all would have to automatically, y'all couldn't turn around and say, oh, Trump is on the Epstein file, because Trump was a Democrat back then, and I realized that he switched parties, but still, back when he was running around with Epstein's, he was a Democrat, and everybody needs to admit that. And me personally, if Trump is on the Epstein files, he needs to be impeached and removed from office immediately.
All right, I'm gonna real quick, Frank. I'm gonna hop in here. I'm gonna respond to the two things that you just said, and then I'm gonna move on to the next guest, because I think that there's some people in the comment section that aren't being too kind to you, and I don't know how to turn the chat off on TikTok Studio. And that's something I would do right now, and I'll still actively be looking for it while I'm responding to what you said. But I'll respond to you. I just want to make sure that I'm not having you getting berated and demeaned by a bunch of people down below in that comment section.
I don't care. See, I don't get offended.
If I could quickly respond to those two things, Frank, that would be phenomenal. So, to your first point about saying that Trump made the economy,
my name isn't Frank. I'm sorry. Do it.
AA6. There you go. So I'll call you A. So A, quickly, about your comments related to the economy. I think that his policy has been very bad for the economy. One way to understand this is his big, beautiful bill. All those big, terrible tax cuts are really hurting the average American. I would incentivize.
Why are they terrible tax cuts when everybody got a tax cut? I'm sorry, but everybody got a tax cut.
Because although everybody is getting a tax cut, if you make at or below $51,000 per year, you're losing more in the public benefits you're supposed to receive than you are receiving from the tax cuts. There's been economists that have done investigations into the total impact of this bill. And what they tell us and what we've learned is that at the end of the day, the after-tax income, although they're still getting a small tax cut, is going to be lower for the average American or anybody at or beneath the average American. And that's important to remember.
It's hard for me to believe any economist that actually is saying that Trump was going to put us in a recession by the middle of the year, and that turned out to be false. See, everything you're saying, like, oh, an economist said this. Oh, yeah, an economist said that we was going to have a recession by the middle of this year, and that is yet to happen. So I'm just trying to figure out how many lies did these people gotta tell you before you start realizing, hey, they are just saying this because they want to put fear in the American people. Because that's really what happened. Like, we shared that we was going to be in a recession by this time, by right now, according to people studying the economy, and we are nowhere near a recession.
Okay.
And you gotta admit that. I'm sorry that it's Trump doing it, but if this stuff was happening under Biden, we would all be cheering for it because, unlike Democrats, we wanted Joe Biden to be successful. Y'all don't want Trump to be successful at all. And that is why we tell y'all that y'all are un-American. Because if Trump fails, everybody fails. And so I don't understand why anybody in the U.S. would actually want Trump to fail because he is the president.
Okay, listen, so I don't want Trump to fail. I want him to succeed and do good for the American people. But the reason I don't support him is because he's not doing that. He's doing bad for the American people. I'm going to go ahead and address the comments that you said about, like the economists and their prediction is a recession. And then I am going to move on to the next guest after that. I just want to make sure I'm able to address what you said so we could have a little bit of a dialogue here. So when economists predicted a recession this year, that was because of Donald Trump's blanket tariffs that he imposed on every other country in the world. At that point, we were on track for a recession. In fact, we were already halfway there because our GDP fell in the first financial quarter of this year. Now, the only reason why we didn't officially experience a recession was because he revoked those blanket tariffs, sending us back on an increase in our GDP for the second quarter.
Oh my
but now A6 here, I really appreciate you so much for coming up, man. I'm going to go to move on to the next guest at this point, but thank you for your time, and I hope that you...
Because he revoked the policy, now you are saying that the economist wasn't wrong. You're just saying that Donald Trump took his pay back. And that is incredibly wrong.
All right. Well, A6, I hope that you're able to tune into the rest of the live. Maybe see, how the rest of the debates go, what else comes up here, and I hope that you have a great rest of your day.
All right, bye.
All right. We're going to move on to the next guest. At this point, if you're watching and you'd like to come up here and have a conversation insofar as why you support Trump, that would be phenomenal. We're going to go to get that next guest loaded in right now, everybody. If you're in that queue, make sure that you support Trump. Here we go, everybody. We're going to go to get that next guest, Logan, loaded up into the stream. Make sure if you're in that queue, you're at least 18 years old. You support Donald J. Trump. What's up, Logan? How old are you? All right, Logan's not here. We're going to go to remove Logan and move on to the next guest, everyone. Let's go to see what that next guest has to say, everybody. We got Jess loaded into the live stream. We got Jess loaded in right now, y'all. Once again, make sure that we're double tapping away on that phone screen. Let's try to get up to 2.5 million likes. All right, it doesn't look like he's connecting. Go ahead and put a MAGA with your age down below in that chat if you'd like to join. We're going to move on to the next guest. Right now, we got Dejan Campbell's up in the queue. Oh, this person is definitely a Trump supporter. Bruh, you don't even need to tell me. You support Trump, right?
Of course.
Yeah, I didn't even need to ask. Quickly, I need to thank a couple people for their love. Kate, thank you for the $10 over on Venmo 7 minutes ago. Kate says, thank you for doing what you do. You are extremely educated on every topic you cover, and I appreciate how willing you are to spread your knowledge to others. You're the best. Kate, you're the best. Thank you for your kind words and the $10 donation. Then Macy, thank you for the $5. I appreciate you for your message. And then Logan for the $10 as well. Thank you so much. I appreciate you as well as your message. I completely agree with it 110%. And I'd also like to very quickly thank Hannah for the $5. Thank you so much. Jackson with the $1. Thank you. Then Braden, thank you so much for the $15 over on PayPal. We're actually going to read his message real quick. He says, I've had my dad watch your lives and he's admitted you're opening his eyes to things he's never known. And it's so refreshing for him. That is awesome, Braden. That is the reason why I do these live. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for letting me know that and the $15 donation. Show some love to Justin down below. And let's also get 800 Justin W's for the $80 donation on PayPal. Jeez, Justin, thank you. That is so much money, man. Justin says, as somebody who has a disability and special needs and is a liberal, thank you for standing up for the guests. Much love to you, Dean, and for having respect. I mean, I think it's important for us to all be decent. And I have no qualms if you watch my lives before for attacking things that people can willingly opt into, like terrible views. I will embarrass the hell out of a Trump supporter because they're a Trump supporter. But guess what? We don't choose our abilities or disabilities. And I think it is so incredibly unfair to use that as a mechanism to attack, even if those disabilities exist in somebody with very bad views. So I appreciate you for the words, as well as the $80 donation, Justin. That's very kind of you. As well as Galen, thank you so much for the $10 as well. Galen says, thank you for helping me restore my faith in humanity. I appreciate you for being here, Galen. Thank you for the $10. That is very kind. Now, go ahead and take it away, Mr. Dejan Gambler. Why do you support Trump?
I mean, a lot of reasons. I think the tariffs are good.
Okay. All right.
All right, here. I know you're going to disagree because, like, they're inflationary, all that. But I feel like he's using them more for negotiations rather than actual tariffs and revenue streams. So, I mean, he's gotten how many countries to the table just based off the tariffs?
I'm unsure. So what do you think the end goal of the tariffs is?
Better, like, trade deals, really, because I feel like we've
Really?
always paid. I mean, I think that's the goal. I don't know if we'll be able to do that, but I think that we've always paid more than our fair share when it comes to.
Listen, I'll be honest, man. We are 170 days into his presidency. How many signed trade deals are there?
He's got one with what? Saudi Arabia,
No,
Europe.
that was not a trade deal. That was a private investment deal into American AI. That wasn't a trade deal. Europe.
Yeah, but okay.
I don't think that we have any achieved trade deal with Europe either. The answer to the question would be zero. We have zero new signed trade deals.
Did we not just do one like yesterday or the day before with Europe? What was that one?
Which one are you referencing?
I mean, I don't exactly know, but I thought they had.
I think
one
I think it's maybe one. Like 5 days ago. Okay, so maybe my claim is 5 days outdated. So then we have one with Japan.
Yeah, so there's one with Japan, and then I mean, okay, maybe they're not necessarily trade deals.
Yeah,
but I don't think
even
that-
this isn't like too much of a trade deal. This is like once again just saying over like the course of like the next 10 years, they're going to invest like $500 billion. So you support him because of his ability to get like investment into American industries.
Yeah, I mean, among other things, I mean, I think that okay, maybe not necessarily a trade deal, but I think that adding tariffs gets people to come to the table and talk about it, and I think that.
Okay, but
You know,
what's
he's
the end
not
goal?
gonna-
I mean, getting people to talk is good, but like saying that you support a fascist because he's able to get other people to talk certainly isn't like a good enough argument to convince me that.
Well, I mean,
he's
I
fit
don't,
for the
I
Oval
don't think that
Office.
he is a fascist. So, I mean, obviously, we're going to disagree on that.
I mean, he
but
fulfills all 14 defining characteristics, sir.
what are those?
Let's see. Do you want me to go through all of them?
No, but give me a few of them.
Okay, I know that one is a disdain for human rights. He definitely has that. I mean, he played judger and executioner and had Abrigo Garcia beaten and tortured in CCOT for 3 weeks. Not to mention his attack on human rights as it relates to women and girls' access to abortion. He doesn't give a fuck about the 60.
Yeah, I mean, I disagree on that. I think abortion should be like completely legal, but
Even in cases of rape, because I was just about to bring up the 60.
no, legal.
Oh, completely legal. Okay, well then you'd agree that
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
an example of disdain
Bro,
for human
I
rights.
think you should be able to get an abortion like till the day they're born, bro. Like, I mean,
I mean,
they're
holding
not
on
alive.
to
They're not
like
alive
your
till they come out, in my opinion. So
holding on
that's,
to
I
your
mean,
pro-choice
people
view.
disagree.
What's more important, having chats with Japan or protecting the human rights of women and girls in this country?
It's a good question.
Well, I think the obvious answer would be
I think they're
protecting the human
both
rights of
equally
this-
important.
I don't think that chatting with Japan is equally important as protecting the human rights in which have been infringed upon by state governments on behalf of 66 million American women and girls. Absolutely not.
I mean, yeah, I mean, no, I definitely disagree with the abortion. I think that
Well, I mean,
like,
which one's more important? Talking to Japan or ensuring that the human rights of millions and millions and millions of American women and girls are protected?
I mean, I think that I don't know if I can answer that, but I think that it's a give and take, right? Like if you were to have somebody else as president right now that's focusing more on abortion, they're going to be focusing less on like foreign policy. And
I mean, I think if
okay,
the end goal is just making American manufacturing greater, I mean, obviously, I think that Kamala Harris would be better for American manufacturing. The easiest argument there is that she just doesn't support a mass deportation. See, Donald Trump's Achilles tendon as it relates to how he's so damaging for the production of American goods, services, and commodities in this country is the fact that he wants to forcefully lay off 8.3 million of their laborers. You know, like the trade deals with Japan's, with Japan, the talks with Canada. At the end of the day, like those are all like very marginally benefiting, possibly benefiting, you know, the American economy, but it's just completely overshadowed by the very severe, massive, and immediate detriment that mass deportation will serve onto our economy, our manufacturers, our labor force, our consumers, etc.
all right, all these people are saying that I didn't answer your question. So, I mean, I think that trade deals with Japan are more important then because, I mean, personally, I don't care about whether people get abortions or not. You know, I'd rather make money. I don't care what poor people do, to be honest. I make
Well,
a fuck ton of money.
So
So,
first you're
it's
just
like,
calling all women poor, and then you're just saying that you don't
no,
care
no,
about
no,
them.
no, no. I'm saying in general, like, I think a trade deal with Japan is more important than people getting abortions. Like Kamala Harris is going to focus on like poor people and the middle class. I don't care about the middle class. I care about the upper class. I care about the 1%.
Okay. Well, would you support like disadvantaging like everybody, like making at the median income and below just to make you a little bit better off?
Yes, 100%.
Okay, why?
Because, I mean, I don't like care, right? It doesn't affect me.
It doesn't affect you. Yeah, right. No, for real. So if Donald Trump wanted to increase your net worth by $1 million over the course of the next 10 years, and this was guaranteed, but he would have also enslaved a third of the population, you just wouldn't have known any of them personally, would you still support him?
Yes.
Yeah, so if you happen to be like a rich white man in America prior to the Civil War, you would have been for slavery. I mean, that would have economically benefited you a whole lot.
I mean, I think most people here would. Okay. I
No,
think
I'm
that's
telling you, if I forced you into a time machine that teleported you back to 1825 America during
Yeah, I would have slaves.
during.
I think most people here would. I mean, it was a different time
So
back then.
wait, you think
People-
if like most people hopped into a time machine right now with the presentation of being a white man with $1 million in a briefcase? That
Oh, you're talking about right now?
Yeah, you hop into a time machine, you go
Yeah,
back
okay,
in time.
probably not. But I'm talking about if you were born back then,
wait.
you would probably have slaves.
Okay, I'm asking you the question: if you could teleport back to 1825 right now with $1 million in a briefcase as a white man, would you run a plantation?
No.
Oh wait, why not? Because you just told us that you
Well, I
don't give
wouldn't
a
wanna run a
shit.
plantation.
You just told us that you don't give a shit what happens to anybody else as long as you're personally benefiting. Isn't this exactly how we retroactively reflect upon the views of the incredibly racist white supremacists that exploited humans because of their race to economically benefit themselves?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't have a plantation.
Okay, it just doesn't sound like a right business venture for you. Well, what if ending slavery would like significantly impact you and your net worth and your income, etc.? Would you support ending slavery?
I feel like your question's hard to answer because you're talking about what we know now versus what
I mean,
went on back then.
I mean, I think that the answer is clear. You like with everything that we know, like you shouldn't, or you shouldn't like support slavery. You should support.
Yeah, no, I
against
wouldn't.
slavery.
No.
Okay, so you actually don't support like the exploitation of other people, even if it like economically benefits you. So why did you tell me that you did support the exploitation of other people, even if it economically benefits you? I mean, that's a very clear contradiction.
I mean, well, you're comparing slaves to maybe like somebody that's underpaid.
No, I mean, I literally asked you the question, would you still support Trump if he gave you $1 million over the course of the next 10 years, given that he also enslaved a third of the population? And you said yes.
All right, fine. I take that back. That was maybe I wasn't listening. I don't know, but no, I take that back. But I think that.
So then what are we here to debate? Because it sounds like you're being a very bad faith individual who can't hold to any claims, just coming up here to kind of like provide some shock value of just saying that you want to kill all poor people.
No,
Because I mean, I don't really think that this is a productive dialogue here.
I genuinely support Trump. I think, okay, I don't know how we got onto like the whole like slavery thing, but I think.
Well, I mean, we got there because you told us you don't give a fuck what happens to anybody else as long as it economically impacts you. That was the view of the white supremacists. Like, yeah, that was absolutely the view of the people that supported slavery. They don't give a fuck what happens to anybody else. I don't care. I don't have empathy. I don't care what happens to them. It benefits me. I'm a fan. Like that is like an historical implementation of your view that we saw in so many people that led to the exploitation of the humanity and lives of like millions of people. Like, of course, it's going to be like the first thing that I bring up. That is one of the outcomes that we've seen throughout history of your view that you don't care about what happens to anybody else as long as it helps you.
Then why don't you not care? Okay, then why don't you talk about what goes in China and all those sweatshops and like, you know, all these people in here, they probably buy off of like fucking Temu and Shein and all those.
Whoa. If you were a Chinese businessman, would you support the sweatshops if they made you richer?
Probably not. I would try to give them a fair wage and like maybe not overwork them. But
okay, so you actually don't exploit. So you actually don't support the exploitation of individuals if it economically impacts, even if it economically benefits you. So earlier when you told us you don't give a fuck what happens to poor people, even if it, like
I was
because
exaggerating,
it benefits you,
right?
like why the hell would you say that if it's not something that you believe in and it makes you look like a huge POS?
I said Shein, not Temu, bro. What does this get on? Anyway, but I think that, all right, let's just move on from that. I mean, I support Trump.
Can we move on to like a real argument here without like
that's what I'm trying to do. I think
like parading is like some like narcissistic, apathetic like POS.
No, I think that his tariffs are good, and I think that, I mean, yeah, I think the tariffs are good. The stock market is at an all-time high, and I think obviously there's a little bit of manipulation there, but like, if it makes me money, I think that's fine.
So what has he done to make the stock market great again?
Well, he says he's going to do tariffs and then pauses it, which makes people buy back in, which is good.
Oh, just creates a dip, then goes back up?
Yep.
Okay. Well, that's true of like every like recession ever. So are you a fan of recessions?
Yeah, 100%. All right. Nah, don't even. Okay.
Yeah, but I'm going to move on to the next guest. No, new argument unlocked, you guys. I'm sorry. I actually can't beat that one. Recessions are good. I support recessions. Donald Trump is going to cause one. Therefore, I support him too. We're going to move on to the next guest, buddy. You beat me. Like, I just simply can't respond to that argument. You know, like, in fact, like that is such a good argument that I'm going to take the L. That's going to be a guest W. So what I would like endorse every single Trump supporter watching right now to do is to take the argument that was finally able to beat Dean after years of me just taking W's nonstop and run on it in the midterms, preferably. Make sure to get in contact with your reps. Make sure to blast it on the TV, blast it on Twitter, blast it everywhere. You know, because it absolutely cooked me. It's an unbeatable position. Just say that we're going to cause recessions and recessions are good. Please. We're going to move on to the next guest right now, everybody. Give us a minute. While we got that next guest loading up, there's a couple people I'd like to thank quickly here. Let's see. Chris, thank you for the $2 on Venmo. Jam with the $5. Thank you. And Kathy with the $50 over on Venmo. That is so incredibly kind of you, Kathy. Thank you. Let's get 500 Kathy W's down below. Kathy says, thank you, Dean, for educating the American public. Keep it up, Kathy. That's so kind. Thank you not only for the kind message, but also for such the kind words. Thank you, Kathy. As well as Bree with the $5 on Venmo. Thank you so much for the love. And then Valeria with the $5 as well. Thank you. And then Scarlett with the $10 over on Venmo. And we could talk about the flotilla here in a bit, Scarlett. I mean, everybody, make sure to keep your eyes on that. There's another aid flotilla that went over to Gaza, and once again, it was intercepted by the IDF. Even though it's in violation of international law, according to the ICJ, they can't stop that, but they did nonetheless. Just another remark of them stopping the sustenance of life-saving aid into Gaza when they're currently experiencing a stage 5 famine, where babies are dying by starvation. Definitely keep that in mind, you guys. It is so bad. Holy fuck, I don't even have like words to describe it. It's just so ugly and gross, and I can't believe that that's happening in this world. Now, welcome in, Gene. If you'd like to unmute, or do you support Trump? Okay, Gene left. We're going to move on to the next guest. Guys, going to put a maggot down below in that chat with your age if you want to come up and have a chat. Also, if I could very politely ask everybody to follow, that would be great. We are like so close to 4 million followers, everybody. It is like ridiculous. We could like even possibly hit 4 million followers right now if like 2,000 people watching hit the follow button. Right now, I think that we are like 2,000 followers away from 4 million. So if you haven't hit the follow button already, do it now. And welcome in, Kay. Do you support Trump?
I don't know. So can I ask you a question?
Quickly, how old are you?
18. I'm allowed. I've gotten banned before. I had to put my ID and stuff.
Yeah, make the question quick.
Okay, so a lot of our presidents before Trump deported people. I want to know what like the big issue with Trump's mass deportation. Like, I want to know the issue behind that, because a lot of people are saying that they're not getting due process and all this stuff. So I just have a question, like, why is that bad now?
Yeah,
like,
well,
why
there's
is
differences
deportation
between
bad
what
now?
Trump is doing and what Obama did, for instance. So Obama focused on deporting individuals with prior criminal or violent criminal offenses. And that's not only something that he campaigned on and promised, but it's also something that he did. He even created DACA, which was a work program specifically to give work permits to undocumented immigrants that didn't have any prior violent offenses. But Trump, on the other hand, just wants to deport every single undocumented immigrant in the country. So that's a really big difference, right? Also, not to mention that I do disagree with the deportation of any undocumented immigrant without prior violent offenses, and I'm sure that Obama had a handful of those, and I wouldn't support those either. Another big difference is the way that they're being deported. Obama deported them legally. Donald Trump is deporting a lot of undocumented immigrants illegally.
Okay, thank you.
Of course, we're going to move on to the next guest. You guys, we are 1,700 followers away from 4 million followers. If you're one of the 11.6 thousand people watching and you haven't hit that big red button up there, do it now. Do it now. Hit the big red button. Let's try to hit 4 million followers. Holy crap, today is going to be a big day. I think we could get it done. Welcome in, Jack. How old are you?
Who, me?
Yes, you. Silly goose.
18.
What year were you born in?
All right. Honestly, I didn't mean to join.
No worries at all. See you later, Jack. Moving on to the next guest. Silent. Thank you for the $20 over on YouTube Super Chat saying, do you like the ban system of a down? I actually am not familiar with the ban. I'll have to look them up, but thank you for the $20. It's very kind. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Age, please.
20.
Why do you support such a shit, terrible, piss poor president?
So I support him because low taper fade meme is still massive. Cookie King mogs you, by the way.
Dude, I'm just so immensely cringing right now. I don't know. Did you what kind of reaction? Tell me, what kind of reaction were you expecting from me in the chat?
Well, I'm just trying to clip farm so I can make more edits. Because the last one I made got 3 million views. I'm just trying to I'm trying to make money, man. What the hell? You gonna hate on my grind?
No, I'm just gonna side eye it silently.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm making money, so.
Moving on to Sarah right now, everyone. Give us a minute here, y'all. Hit that follow button if you haven't already. Seriously, we are now 1,500 followers away from 4 million followers. Holy crap. Welcome in. What's going on, Sarah? Do you support Trump?
No, I don't. I just wanted to say I love you.
I appreciate you for the love, Sarah. You're awesome. Guys, put a mag with your age down below in that chat. We're trying to get a debate going here, and honestly, it's proven to be a little bit difficult. It's proven to be a little bit difficult. Rules, people, rules. All right, moving on. Here we go. Welcome in, Alex. Do you support Trump? Alex actually just left, quite frankly, super duper quickly. Goodbye, Alex. Moving on to the next guest right now, everyone. Just give us a minute here, y'all, to get that next guest loaded in. We got Sam A113. Sam, please be MAGA. Please be MAGA. Hi, Sam. Are you MAGA?
Hi. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Yes.
You are?
Hi. Yes. Hi.
Oh, Sam, why do you support Trump?
Actually, I had a question about abortion, if you don't mind.
So, you want to debate abortion? Yeah, you can ask a question. As long as it starts like a broader conversation about why you support Trump.
So you don't mind if I start with my question?
Yeah, whatever. Go for it.
Thank you so much. So first of all, would you agree that people need to take responsibility for their actions and should only take actions knowing what the consequences could be going forward, correct?
People need to take responsibility for their actions. Yeah,
Yes.
like if there's an action in which like would warrant responsibility, you absolutely should take it. Yeah, and it's like generally advised and promoted to, only engage in an action if you know the like potential outcomes, risks, consequences, etc.
I was just curious to know what your opinion would be on the idea that people should not be going into sex or having sex consensually, that is, knowing that the result could end up with them becoming pregnant if they are not ready for that circumstance.
Bad argument. A possible result of me hopping in my car and driving down the street is getting T-boned by a drunk driver. Should I not drive unless I'm ready to be T-boned by a drunk driver?
No, I guess you make a good point.
So why do you support
I'm
Trump?
actually, I don't. I just really wanted to hear your answer on that because I have a lot of friends who have that.
Well, there you go. You know what? Take that answer and run with it. It's a good one. Guys, but please do follow the rules. Make sure if you're in that queue, that means that you support Trump. We're going to go ahead and move on to the next guest right now, you guys. Everybody, let's try to get that next guest loaded in. What's up, Jelly? Do you support Trump? Okay, Jellybean's not here. We're going to go to move on to the next guest right now, everybody. Oh, my goodness gracious. Oh, geez, you guys. Yo, Chase, I appreciate you for the $5 on Venmo. Chase just says, I love you, Dean. I love you too, Chase. Thank you so much. I appreciate your support. What's going on? Do you support Trump?
Start digging your butt, twin.
Yo, twin, I'm not going to do that, bro. Do you support Trump?
Digging your butt.
Dude, cut that shit out. Moving on to the next guest. We're going to move on, everyone. Just give us a minute to get that next guest loaded into the live stream. We got the next guest loaded in right now, y'all. Everybody just do be patient. Everyone just give us a minute. What's going on? Do you support Trump?
I fucking hate Trump because I'm Canadian.
Well, boost. Hello. Base fetus. W's. Okay. Got to be at least 18 and you got to support Trump and you have to be from America, violating all three of the rules. Literally, there's a rule that he followed. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
I voted for Trump, yeah.
Age, please?
18. Actually, no, I'm above 18. I'm 20. Sorry. Never been on a live with 12K people, so kind of jumped at me.
Okay, what year are you born in?
I was born in 2005, February.
Dude, I just got a flag for like sexual exploitation. I'll ask guys.
I promise.
Okay, yeah. Why do you still support Trump?
I don't stand by everything Trump does. I did vote for him over Kamala, specifically. Sorry, morally for immigration policy.
Ooh, his immigration policy is like the worst.
Hey, agree to disagree. I guess
actually, no, we're not going to agree to disagree because we're here to debate. So what's a specific immigration policy that you're a big fan of?
Okay, can I lay out the way I look at it for you? Yeah. I mean, and you could say what you want about it after. I just think there's people that came here legally, and it's unfair, it's unequal for people that are coming here illegally to just be here after those people that have been here legally for so long and worked the way to get here. For instance, I don't know a lot of details on this because it happened before I met my fiance, but her family is from Canada and they're all here legally and they had to work to do that. I don't know. I don't find it very fair and equal. People can
check this shit out. Check this shit out. The fairness argument. On the surface level,
yes,
it seems, I'm going to mute you while I'm talking just because there's a little bit of background noise. On the surface level, it seems to make sense. All these people working so hard, paying so much money to come in legally. Then we have individuals that come in illegally, skip the line, quote unquote, get in here immediately. Ooh, that's unfair. How about this? When we look at it at a little bit of a deeper level, let's see what the impact of undocumented immigrants is on legal immigrants. Well, undocumented immigrants are positive. Positively economically contribute to the economy. They pay $100 billion per year in taxes. They account for 8.3 million of the laborers in our workforce, and they account for 12 million consumers on the demand side of the economy. So they help our producers make more goods, and they help our consumers buy more goods, leading to more economic growth. The Center on American Progress tells us that they contribute around $1.1 trillion through $1.7 trillion per year to the GDP. Now, what happens when our producers are more effective? What happens when our consumer base is larger? What happens when our GDP grows? Well, the economy gets better, average qualities of life go up, poverty goes down, crime goes down, and we see a better country. So how the hell can you tell me it's unfair to give legal immigrants a better country than they would have had if we did a mass deportation? That makes no sense at all. So, I'm guessing you see my perspective now, right?
I do. I get what you're saying. And I guess my counter argument to that is I have a genuine question because I'm not educated on this and you probably are. How do you pay taxes when you're not a legal citizen, for one? And also, number two, I know they'd be paying taxes on like food, stuff you buy that is taxed. Probably not food. A lot of food's not taxed. But certain goods you buy, you pay taxes on. How would they'd still be skipping out on a lot of taxes if they're not legal because you're not paying? How do you even pay taxes?
I don't know if you've ever bought anything ever. Sales taxes automatically applied at checkout.
Okay, yeah.
And then about income tax, they pay it on ITIN. So their individual taxpayer identification numbers, anybody can get one from IRS.gov. That's how undocumented immigrants pay taxes.
Do you believe that all of them, or at least majority of them, are actually going forward with that, or
how would I possibly know the answer to that question?
Majority,
sure. They pay $100 billion per year in taxes. Makes sense.
I don't know. I just struggle to believe, and we could do research on it if needed. I just struggle to believe if there's this many illegal immigrants that we are getting the same amount of taxes that we would get if they were all legal. I just feel like
are you saying that we get more taxes from them if they were legal?
I think, if you're a legal citizen, I feel like more taxes will be paid. I think that's kind of a no-brainer.
I agree. That is a no-brainer. Why? Because they'd be more incentivized to work over the table and file taxes, not only because they hold more bargaining power against their employer, but also because they have access to federal benefits like Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare, Section 8, USDA food stamps in all 50 states, etc. So maybe if we were to offer them a pathway to residency or citizenship, naturalize them, our economy would be better the very next day and our government would be taking in more money without any material change in the people that are in our country or their employment. Wow, you just argued in support of a very far left policy. Are you a communist?
And it's funny. So like I said, I don't stand by everything Trump does. I do agree there should be an absolute easier way to become a legal citizen.
So do you agree or disagree with offering undocumented immigrants without prior violent offenses a pathway to residency or citizenship because it'll materially make our economy better tomorrow?
I think there should be a way to become a citizen. An easier way to be. I think there should be some sort of I don't feel like you should just get a get out of jail free card for
You just
being
conceded.
here.
You just conceded, by the way. Yeah, so you just said that, yes, you support mass amnesty, which is granting undocumented immigrants a right to stay in our country and to be residents or citizens, that is diametrically opposed to mass deportation.
I don't think it's black and white. I think there should be a lot more to it. I don't think you should just be like, oh, hey, we caught you here. You're not supposed to be here. Do you want to become a legal citizen? I don't think that's exactly what I meant.
All right, we should probably also do background checks, see if they have any outstanding warrants from other countries, pretty crazy criminal offenses, violent offenses, etc. But this doesn't change the fact that you're still now endorsing policy that is diametrically opposed to mass deportation, making you very staunchly against Donald Trump's economic policy.
All right. So again, where I stand is I do not think you should be able to come here illegally. A lot of other countries, actually, hold on, scratch that. Is there another country that just allows millions and millions and millions of illegal immigrants to even to get to the point where America's at? Is that even a problem anywhere else?
Okay, well, first and foremost, if you want to argue that we should do what other countries do, not only are you making an appeal to populists, but you're also contradicting yourself because I bet you don't support free healthcare for all, even though that's something every other developed country in the world does. And then, yes, there is systems of amnesty, which are true in other countries, such as Germany, Britain, or England. So a little bit in South Africa, Turkey, and a couple other countries around the world, Brazil. It happens. Yes, it does. It does indeed, 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 indeed. I don't think that should be relevant though, because we should be looking at what is good for our country, and even if no other country is doing it, we should still do it, given that it's good.
Absolutely.
And I'm failing to see your argument here because I was having a conversation with you about mass deportation. You said that you supported it. Then I was able to get you to concede that you support mass amnesty. That is diametrically opposed to mass deportation, making you now against mass deportation, which is a significant portion
Why
of
am I?
Donald Trump's
Hold on.
immigration policy.
Why am I against mass deportation?
Because you told us that you agreed with mass amnesty.
Can you go into that? What is
like offering undocumented immigrants a pathway to residency or citizenship?
A pathway. That doesn't mean they're gonna get it. Like I said, there's a background check, and I think there should definitely be responsibilities. Like if there was proof that they were skipping out on taxes anyway, I mean, there's so much that goes into that. You can't just jump to a conclusion on that, I feel like.
Okay, so if you're just going to remain agnostic and not have a conversation with me about the nuances of it, I'm going to move on to the next guest. I find this to be like a rather strange debate tactic where you just kind of like muddy the waters, say words, don't hold any conclusions, so there's nothing to debate. Like, I'm so sorry, man. Like, I'm trying to debate you right now. I mean, let's debate why you do or you don't support mass amnesty, you do or you don't support mass deportation. Like, let's
I came in here to talk about mass deportation.
Okay, so do you think mass deportation is a good policy?
I think we need to get people that should not be here out, or
that's not what I asked you. Do you think that mass deportation is a good policy?
Yes.
Okay, so would you agree that, like, ideologically speaking, conceptually speaking, a good policy is one that produces more good outcomes than bad outcomes, right?
I mean, there's more. Sure, yeah, we can go with that.
There's not more to it. Conceptually speaking, that's all there is to it. Good policy is one that produces more good outcomes than bad outcomes, and a bad policy is one that produces more bad outcomes than good outcomes. So would you agree that it would be your goal to demonstrate that it produces a lot of good outcomes, and it would be my goal to demonstrate that it produces a lot of bad outcomes, right?
There's pros and cons to everything. I think there would be more good outcomes.
Yeah, so it's your goal to demonstrate that there's more good than bad, and it's my goal to demonstrate that there's more bad than good, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll start by naming off the bad outcomes, and then you'll move on to the good outcomes, and we'll see who comes out on top, okay? You're not in the live. Nobody can hear you. Let me know when you're back.
I am back. I've never been in a TikTok live. I apologize.
So I'll start off by naming the bad outcomes, and you'll name the good outcomes, and we'll see who comes out on top. So a lot of the bad outcomes are economic and humanitarian. We'll go over them both. One of those bad outcomes is going to be a annual reduction in our GDP upwards of 1.1 trillion through 1.7 trillion dollars per year. That figure is being pulled from the Center on American Progress that accounts for their $300 billion per year direct contribution, the productivity that is generated inside of our manufacturing/labor force, as well as the provided value to the GDP that is extracted off their work by their employer. That's a really bad outcome, significant reduction in our GDP. Another bad outcome is going to be disenfranchising our manufacturers and making them less productive in the goods that they manufacture. That's a no-brainer. Obviously, when we're going to do a forced layoff of 8.3 million laborers, that's what's going to happen. They're going to get less productive and make less goods. A third bad outcome is going to be a reduction in the size of our consumer base, which then creates a lower level of demand for American-produced goods, which then would lead to the conclusion that we're going to have less American-produced goods. So that's also a no-brainer. There's 12 million undocumented consumers on the demand side of our economy. Removing them all is terrible. A fourth really bad outcome is kind of like consequential for these three prior facts, which is more crime. Because when we have like a worse economy with slower GDP growth, less people buying goods, less people producing goods, we're going to have higher levels of poverty, which is kind of a given. And because a lot of crime is a result of poverty, when we have higher levels of poverty, we'll also have more crime. So that's going to be your fourth and your fifth negative outcome of mass deportation. Now, the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, etc., there are typically going to be more humanitarian concerns related to, I don't know, illegally deporting people to get beaten and tortured in CCOT in El Salvador for 3 weeks, holding people in detention centers for 3 months with no reason, even though they're valid green card holders, disenfranchising families and sending people to Alligator Alcatraz in Florida to eat one meal a day, some of those meals having maggots in them. So there's around like 7 or 8 or 9 really bad outcomes of mass deportation. If you want to go ahead and turn around and tell me what the good outcomes are, I'll listen. You got my ears. Just make sure that you're specific, the same way I was very specific with what the bad outcomes are.
Okay, so I'm not going to sit here and say I could confidently name 9 just off the dome without doing any research. However, I will say pretty confidently a huge factor, I'm sure you've heard this debate before, more jobs for Americans. I solidly believe that would be a good outcome. And I don't see how in any way you'd be against that, right?
But think about it. Literally think about it. Dude, if Intel laid off 50,000 employees, there'd be more open job opportunities for Americans. Does that mean that Intel laying off 50,000 employees is a good idea?
I'm not gonna sit here and say there wouldn't be some sort of bump there. Definitely a lot of cons, but I think overall, on the long run, it is more beneficial to have American citizens working jobs
You're
in
not
America.
answering my question.
Yeah, I did.
No, you
Your
didn't. I
question
asked you
was-
if Intel laid off 50,000 employees right now, there'd be 50,000 additional open job opportunities for Americans. If Intel did that, would it be good?
I said there would be cons. So
it would be bad if
overall, I
Intel did
think
that.
yes.
So the undocumented immigrants losing these jobs is bad, right?
It's not just a good or bad. There's going to be bad and there's going to be. You see, you try to make everything black and white, and I don't like that.
Are you saying that there's a
pros
good
and cons
outcome
to
produced in the long term from this? What is it?
If 50,000 people who are not legally supposed to be here lost their jobs and 50,000 Americans got jobs, that would be a good side effect of that, right?
So you think that Americans are going to fill the shoes that are left by every undocumented immigrant in the workforce right now? How many undocumented immigrants are working?
A lot. I don't have a specific number, but I'm sure an absolute lot.
8.3 million. How many open job opportunities already exist?
Probably a lot.
8 million. So if Americans can't fill the 8 million open job opportunities that already exist, what makes you think they'll be able to fill the 8.3 million that would open via mass deportation?
Super funny you mentioned that. I'm going to use a personal example here. So there's plenty of open jobs. Sure, I could go get a job at McDonald's right now. I guarantee it. However, all these good jobs, like I'll be a little specific. I work with a train company, and jobs like that don't just come and go. There's a lot of people there that's just a lot of open job opportunities for a good job. Yeah, you can go get a job at McDonald's whenever you want. That's an open job. So when you put a whole list of open American jobs, you're going to get jobs like McDonald's. I don't feel like that's a good argument.
Okay, just like if we were to... I'm sorry, I don't even understand your argument. I need to get clarification on that. What is your argument here?
Okay, you just said there was how many open jobs in America right now?
8 million already?
8 million. So we're counting every single job, right? We're not blending in just like a mix of good jobs only, right?
I'm just telling you how many open job opportunities there are. There's 8 million open job opportunities.
Exactly, right? So I can go get a job at like a country club right now and make $9 an hour. I'm not going to be able to live and provide for a family.
Open job opportunities.
Okay, yeah. So it'd be a lot more beneficial for me to get a good job. And for instance, a lot of illegal immigrants.
So are you saying that like the jobs that undocumented immigrants work are like of a higher quality than the jobs that are open?
I personally think so, yes.
Okay, what makes you think that? Because they're actually limited into working lower quality jobs due to the fact that they're undocumented immigrants, don't have a don't have an SSN, and are easier to be exploited by their employers because they don't have residency or citizenship.
I just don't. All right, so okay, we'll dig into that right now.
I have a question. Do you think that unions help you get better jobs?
I've worked a union job. I personally didn't like it. Are you saying, does it provide a better job? Is that a better job than a normal job?
Can unions help you get better jobs with better benefits, with better pay than if the union didn't exist?
I'm not sure. I don't know a lot about unions. I'm not gonna.
The answer to the question would be yes. Okay, why is the answer to that question yes? Because unions can provide you more bargaining power held against your employee, right? Against your employer, right?
Okay, yeah, I agree.
So in other words, the more bargaining power, the better job you could get. Who has more bargaining power, citizens or undocumented immigrants?
Citizens.
Right, so therefore we'd expect on average undocumented immigrants to have lower quality jobs on average compared to citizens.
Okay, so I don't have a computer in front of me, but if I need to, I can get one. Would you agree or disagree that illegal immigrants are typically working a labor job? Is that something you would?
I don't know if I would say that like 50% of or more of undocumented immigrants are working labor jobs. Are like in like particular labor fields. Are undocumented immigrants disproportionately likely to work? Yes, like 1 out of every 7 construction workers is an undocumented immigrant.
Okay, so I feel like Americans would benefit more from getting jobs like that aren't open because they're able to even slightly underpay an illegal, right?
Because they have less bargaining power, right?
Yeah. So
in other words, you're telling me if we offer the undocumented immigrants a pathway to residency or citizenship, then they'd have the same amount of bargaining powers as residents or citizens because they are residents or citizens, and then without any change in their material conditions, they get paid more on average, meaning that GDP per capita would go up, and their contributions to the GDP would go up, and because they're naturalized and can seek benefits from our federal government, their contribution in taxable revenue would go up, so then our country gets materially better without a single change apart from offering undocumented immigrants a pathway to residency or citizenship.
I just want to go in on that. So you're saying if they were legal now, right?
Right. Offering them the pathway to residency or citizenship. Yes.
So you would get all that benefits from them being a legal citizen rather than illegal. Because my whole argument
offer them
is
the
that
pathway
we
to
do not need
residency or citizenship.
Okay, so we're on the same page about the pathway to have what's it called again?
No, we're not on the same page of mass amnesty. You disagree with it because you support mass deportation.
So I can't support mass deportation, and just due to that, I can't think there should be a pathway like to become a
Precisely.
citizen. I
Precisely.
don't understand.
Yes. Because
So-
you support mass deportation, you cannot support mass amnesty.
I don't understand that entirely because
It's because mass deportation is removing undocumented immigrants from the country. Mass amnesty is allowing them to stay in the country and become a resident or citizen.
So what I said specifically, if we go back, is I think there should 100% be a way for an illegal immigrant to become a legal citizen the right way. I don't think you should be just brutally forced out of the country. And I understand that.
So is mass amnesty the right way or the wrong way?
See, I don't want to give it a label because I'm not entirely educated on that. I'm
I'm going to explain it to you this one last time. Here's everything that you need to know about mass amnesty. Okay, it is offering undocumented immigrants, right? A, the ability to stay in this country, and B, if they're offered the ability to stay in this country, they must be seeking a pathway to residency or citizenship, and C, our government would be offering that pathway to residency or citizenship. There will be a handful of undocumented immigrants that shouldn't be offered this pathway with the ability to stay in the country, such as undocumented immigrants with prior violent offenses, such as undocumented immigrants with particular outstanding warrants from other countries, such as undocumented immigrants with pretty crazy non-violent criminal offenses, etc., 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 etc. Those individuals would be deported or put in jail, right, for their crimes, obviously. So now that we understand what mass amnesty is, do you think that is a good way to naturalize undocumented immigrants, or a bad way to naturalize undocumented immigrants?
I think 100%, and I'm going to go back and say it. I think 100% there should be a way.
You're not answering my question. I asked you if mass amnesty was good or bad.
So based off of what you're telling me, if there is proper documentation and there's not just a get out of jail free card where, oh, you've been here for 20 years illegally, there's not going to be any consequences for that. You're now a legal citizen. Hooray.
That's exactly what it is.
Okay, so as long as there's proper work and authority there, like proper law, I don't see a problem with that, no.
Okay, so you do support mass amnesty?
Based off of what you're telling me, yes. Does that mean I think we should just let people swing over the border?
So therefore, we're actually not talking about border policy right now. We're talking about what to do with the undocumented immigrants.
They tie into each other, but sure.
They actually don't tie into each other in this sense, no.
So you're going to tell me right now that people illegally coming into the country doesn't cause illegal citizens to be here that are getting mass deported? That doesn't tie into each other at all?
I'm telling you the conversation of what to do with the undocumented immigrants that are in this country is completely distinct and separate from a conversation of what to do to prevent further undocumented entry. No. Right, so now that we understand that as a fact, I'll go back. So you just told us that you do indeed support mass amnesty, so therefore you don't support mass deportation, and you've now conceded the totality of your argument.
I mean, not really, but if that's the way you want to try to make it look. So
bro,
again,
I'm going to go over this with you one last time, okay?
I know.
Is removing an undocumented immigrant from this country diametrically opposed to allowing them to stay in the country?
A lot of them are here illegally, right?
No, you're not answering my question. Is removing an undocumented immigrant from this country diametrically opposed from allowing them to stay in the country and become a citizen? Yes or no?
You're giving them a pathway, though. That's not just a yes or no. See, you always make things black and white. I've seen you debate so many people.
And this is black and white. This right now completely is. It is totally black and white. Is removing an undocumented immigrant from this country diametrically opposed, distinct, and contradictory to allowing an undocumented immigrant to stay in this country while seeking a pathway to residency or citizenship? Are those two things completely separate?
I don't think they're contradictory. I think there's a correction there where, you did something wrong.
What is a contradiction? What is a contradiction?
A contradiction is something that completely opposes something that is completely against it. So if I went left, you went right. That's not what this is.
If I am deported from the country, you're allowed to stay in the country and become a citizen. If I went left, you went right.
Yeah, but there's so much more to that. There's not just a, hey, do you want to stay in this country or do you want to go back to your country? There's so much.
Okay, what is the additional context that is required that I am required to understand in order to come to the same conclusion that you have, that mass deportation is not directly contradictory to mass amnesty?
I think damn, I really suck at saying that word. I think that would be a good course of action.
That's not. I
for
didn't ask you. I
certain
didn't ask you that. I
individuals.
really didn't ask you that. I asked you what is the additional context that I have to understand to recognize the same conclusion that you have, that mass deportation is not separate, contradictory, and apart from mass amnesty.
See, I don't know. I've tried to explain it to you multiple times, and you're not picking up on it. So
Okay, what have you tried to explain? Re-explain it again. What
I said
context do
they're
I need
just
to
not
understand?
contradictory.
Oh, well, that's not an explanation. That's a claim. I'm asking you for the explanation for the claim.
It's like right there. What do you? How am I supposed to go into that?
You're
deep?
saying that they're not contradictory because they're not contradictory?
That's like looking at a color. Oh, that's blue. Tell me it's not blue. How do you want me to tell you that's not blue? Just like think. For a
Wait, so
minute.
are you just saying that it's intuitively obvious that mass deportation is not contradictory to mass amnesty? I've never heard a worse argument ever before. And by the way, if you want an explanation that something is blue, you would like look at the UV rays in which you would emit, and then you'd compare and contrast that to the UV rays in which are typically emitted by what we understand and colloquially acknowledge as blue on like a UV spectrum.
Okay, how about this? It's
Right,
a
so
proper
we can
way
explain
that
these things.
Mass deportation could be handled. That doesn't mean it's a contradictory.
Wait, so
It's
you
more
think
of a
that mass
solution.
amnesty is a way to do mass deportation?
I think it's a way to get less people in this country illegally, because my whole issue is not that they're here, it's that they're here
Also,
illegally. I have no
electromagnetic
issue with
waves,
people
not
coming
UV.
here.
Okay. Can any... Okay. So you still haven't offered an explanation. I'm going to give you one last attempt to explain yourself before I kick you. Because right now you're just being disingenuous. Like you're being incredibly disingenuous. You have no clue what you're fucking saying because you're still trying to argue that mass deportation is not separate and contradictory from mass amnesty. So explain to me why. One last time, just stop being dense. You're one of the most dense guests I've had up in a while.
It's a correction. It's not a contradictory.
What?
Oh, hey, you're here illegally. It's more of an option. It's not, we're just going to kick you out. There's a pathway there. You're
Right.
saying,
But
it's either we deport them or we
mass,
do this. No,
mass
there's an in the
mass
middle.
deportation is their removal.
Yes, mass deportation is getting somebody out of this country that does not need to be here.
Okay, so
because they came here illegally.
would you say that the removal of undocumented immigrants is a necessary factor of mass deportation?
The reason I support mass deportation.
That's not what I asked you. Would you say that the removal of undocumented immigrants is a necessary factor of mass deportation?
There we go. Back to the black and white.
This is
mass
black and white.
deportation. Yes, you have to remove some people because not everybody needs to be here. There's
So
illegal
the
people here, there's
removal
people that have committed crimes.
so the mass removal of undocumented immigrants from this country is a necessary factor of mass deportation, right?
You have to remove people. Or
I'm not
find a way
asking
so
you. I'm
they can
asking you
violate
that is a
safety.
necessary factor of mass deportation. Is the mass removal of undocumented immigrants from this country a necessary factor of mass deportation? Yes or no?
All right, we'll play your game. Yes.
Oh, you think that answering questions is playing a game? Holy shit.
No,
Okay,
you make everything
so-
black and white.
Because that's literally how the
I'm gonna
words are
keep
defined.
saying it.
Dude, it's because it is black and white. Because that's how we define the words. What does the word mass mean?
That's not what we're talking about. You're saying that.
Yes,
that
it is. It is what we're talking
contradictory to
about.
that, and it's
Because you're
not.
telling me that I'm just not being like contrast enough and making everything black and white. Dude, we have to be able to like have a common understanding of what words mean. You're calling a common understanding of what words means like black and white. Sometimes it is, okay? Right? And I'm going to explain to you this concept right now. What does the word mass mean?
Large.
Large? And what does the word deportation mean?
Deportation, like leaving.
Removal.
Yeah.
Okay, so you just told me that mass means large and deportation means removal. Okay, so when I ask you, right, if the mass removal of undocumented immigrants from this country is a necessary factor of mass deportation, and you can't answer the question, and you're saying that it's too black and white, well, look at that. We just had you define the words mass and deportation. You said large removal, so it looks like I was right. It is necessary that we would be deporting and removing a lot of undocumented immigrants from this country in order to qualify a mass deportation, because that's literally what the words mass and deportation mean. See, if we're not doing a mass removal of undocumented immigrants from this country, we're not doing a mass deportation. because the words mass deportation literally mean mass removal, right? So do you see how in this sense it is black and white?
I get what you mean. Yes. But in that sense, you're suggesting that I want every single one of them removed, the whole mass, and that's just not true.
That's the policy of the Trump administration.
The Trump administration wants them all removed, and I told you from the get-go that I don't stand by everything that Trump does. I just think illegal immigration needs to be handled.
We've literally been having a debate about why you support Trump, and it's because you said you support his mass deportation.
Yeah, off the rip, I actually said I don't stand by everything that Trump does, but I do think that
I understand that you said that you don't understand that you don't stand by everything that Trump does. So that's why I asked you, what is something Trump is doing that you stand by, and you said mass deportation.
Okay, so people are framing it as a bad thing that illegal immigrants are being removed, right? Is that not something we can agree on? Do you think it's
like
a bad thing?
do you think Donald Trump's mass deportation is bad or good?
I think it's removing people that shouldn't be here.
That's not what I asked. Is it bad or good?
It has benefits. It has pros and cons, dude. I'm not going to sit here and say everything about it is peachy.
So do you overall support it, or do you overall not support it?
I like it all over the alternative of doing absolutely nothing.
Okay, dude, you're not even fucking answering my questions, man. Is there like, I'm asking you if this policy is overall good or bad. What is your response?
It's not perfect. I like it a lot more than
Dude, if you can't even tell me, that it's a good policy, we can't debate. Listen, I think that a lot of people do this when they join my live stream. You are so scared of even affirming a claim because you think that I'll be able to prove it wrong that you don't even affirm claims. Okay? But you have to be able to like affirm claims in order to debate me. If you're not going to give an opinion, what am I supposed to be debating against? If you're not going to give a claim, what am I supposed to be debating against? I'm going to need you to make a claim here. Trump's mass deportation. Is it an overall good policy? Or is it an overall bad policy?
I like it.
So what does that mean? Is it an overall good policy because you like it? Is that the implication I should yield here? We need to be specific.
Yes, I think it has more good than bad from what I said. But
Okay.
you keep making me try to say it's all good, and I'm not going to say that.
Okay, I'm not
gonna
trying
say
to
that
make
there
you
is
say
peachy.
anything. I'm just trying to make you say how you feel.
I think 110% it is a good idea to remove people that came to this country illegally when there's people that worked their ass off to get here legally and jump through hoops.
I've already explained how this is not unfair. Okay. The only people slapping legal immigrants in the face is going to be our government for neglecting the legal means of entry into this country for all of modern American history because they want the issue of undocumented immigration into this country to persist, to exist because of an unattainability of legal means of entry into this country, or also have nothing to run on to convince their base that they should support them. All right. Also, you can't say that it's unfair to legal immigrants to be offering them a better country once they're in the country because undocumented immigrants make this country better. Right? Would you prefer illegal immigrants to have a better country to walk into or a worse country to walk into? Because with mass deportation, the country is worse. Without mass deportation, the country is better. You're telling me that it's unfair to give legal immigrants better material conditions once they're already in the country. Do you see how absurd that is to say?
Well, okay, and here's the thing. So you're affecting the lives of others when you come here illegally. Like, you're pulling sources from other people. You're sitting here saying that illegal immigrants have a more hazardous life and can't get resources they need. So, okay, let me ask you this. Why are people coming here illegally?
Because the legal means of entry into this country are unattainable.
But why? Like, why are these people coming to America illegally? Why are they coming here?
I
Why
just
are
told
they
you,
not?
that is the main incentive for undocumented entry. It's because the legal means of entry are unattainable.
I understand that. What is the motive? Why would
that is the
somebody
motive?
come over here?
That the motive for undocumented entry is because of how unattainable the legal means of entry are. That is the motivation for undocumented entry.
So you're saying people just like don't become legal because it's too hard to become legal, is what you're saying?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, I'm completely open. Is there any like proof you have behind that? Like, I'm genuinely curious. I just want to hear what you have to say. Not even trying to be rude.
Yeah, the fact that
why
it
is
takes
it
20
why is it hard?
through 25 years to become a citizen.
There's 25 years. So there's people that have come
If
here.
you're in
legally that
Mexico,
are
if you're in
younger than
Mexico
25.
and you don't have any family in America and you want to become a citizen, it'll take you 20 years.
I just find that hard to believe. If you could pull a source that says, "Hey, it takes 25 years to come here," I would absolutely love that.
Sure.
And I'll say you're right here, right now. I mean,
are you saying that the legal means of entry into this country are good?
I never, man. I don't like giving straight answers because I know you're more educated than me. I don't special in politics, but I think they could be better. I don't think they're terrible as far as I'm aware.
Okay.
There's always room for improvement.
Yeah, everyone just give us a minute here.
Yeah, I'd absolutely love to see where it says, yeah, it takes you 25 years to come over to America. I'm sure there's been like some instance out there that was really messed up where that happened. I don't think that's an actual written thing that says, hey, it takes 25 years.
Well, it's not written. That's just how long the current process can take for many.
Yeah, that doesn't sound right. Can't lie.
How long do you think it takes while I look for this?
25 years? That's really pushing it. I was more betting on around 2 at tops.
I mean,
two to 5.
Even like 2 is too long.
That is a lot. I'm not going to sit here and say it's perfect. It's a lot better than 25.
Okay, so yeah, the first source I'm going to give you is coming from, let's see here. I believe this is coming from Boundless Immigration. So this is specifically going to be for green card holders. Let's see here. Sorry, I haven't like done this research and given you my sources for a while. So on average, at the most, on average, it could take around 15 months to have your claim for a green card processed. But now when you compile that with the fact that we have around 10 to 11 immigrants backlogged in that process, it can take 5 years, it could take a decade just to wait to begin that process of getting processed.
So, I mean, all right, already for starters, that's a lot less than 25. I'm still going to say that's quite a phenomenal amount. Is there, what's this source called again? Got my computer up here.
It's called Boundless Immigration. That is the length at which it takes for a green card claim to be processed once you start the process. However, it is the case that in many circumstances, it could take 5, 10, 15, 20 years to start the process because of the wait.
All right. I'm actually using this same source that you're using. All right.
Also, notice how he's like honed in on this one specific thing instead of like debating anything else ever. He didn't debate me on why mass amnesty is good. He didn't debate me on why he's a fan of mass deportation. And still, to this point, he hasn't acknowledged the contradictory nature of mass amnesty compared to mass deportation, even though he's arguing that they weren't contradictory until he's able to describe the contradiction just literally in the meaning of the words mass and deportation, and how that's separate from amnesty.
So
I'm actually going to go ahead. I'm actually going to go ahead and put a red line there. I don't know why I'm even entertaining this. We could talk about this immediately after you acknowledge the contradictory nature of mass deportation and mass amnesty. I have no clue why I let you get away with that.
So, okay, you're telling me we actually found a debate topic and you want to refrain and go back on something.
Yeah, because you ran away from that. Yes, you ran away from that. You did run away from that. Yes.
Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and say they're polar opposites. So I guess just kick me and talk to your next guest.
Okay, well, I gave you an argument that they were opposites because one necessitates the removal of the person from the country, and the other one necessitates the remainder of the person of the country.
Yeah.
Would you say that removing somebody from a country is the polar opposite of letting them stay in the country?
So you're deporting somebody, and we're offering a solution.
No, answer my question. Is removing somebody from the country the polar opposite of letting them stay in the country?
When you put the words like that, yeah, sure.
Okay, so that's why they're the polar opposite of one another.
So mass deportation is, like we already established 20 times, letting someone out of the country. And the action that we can do to correct that and allow our government, our people to benefit, and the person that is here illegally to benefit, it's more of a corrective action. I don't know why you're trying to make it a polar opposite. That's like saying...
Wait, you agreed that...
It's a solution to an issue.
You agreed that it was a polar opposite? You said that removing somebody from the country is a polar opposite of letting them stay. I mean, you agreed.
When you
conceded.
blatantly say it like that, sure, those could be opposites. If you walked up to somebody and blatantly said it, we're talking about a world issue here. There's no just opposite. It's a solution to a problem.
Okay, I'm confused on what you're saying because that is what I'm blatantly saying. That's the crux of why they're contradictory.
Yeah. So if someone walked up to my house and I either let them in or kick them out, yeah, those are opposites. We're not talking about something so simple.
That's the difference between deporting somebody and letting them stay in the country.
Yeah. So you could. All right. You guys love to. Oh my gosh. Okay. So there's mass deportation,
right? Which is removing people from the country, right?
Okay. And I'm going to say this 20th time. There's that path that they could take to stay here, or there's another path to go back to their country. So I'm trying to understand
that's
how
not
the polar
mass
opposites,
deportation.
There's two solutions.
That's not mass deportation.
Yeah. So again, I thought we were talking about those being opposites. Now we're going to go back on this too, or pivoting again.
What you just said, like letting people stay in the country or giving them the option of like voluntary removal, that's not mass deportation.
So what are you saying? I'm
saying that what you just defined as mass deportation is not mass deportation, nor is it what Trump is doing.
Yeah, it's better than just allowing everybody to stay though and live off of others.
Okay, so you think that so now that you've agreed that mass amnesty is different than mass deportation, I'm confused. Can you agree that these two things are different and contradictory or not?
Again, I'm going to tell you the same thing I've told you 20 times. It's a pathway. I think it should be an optional pathway.
You can't even tell me if you agree if they're different or not. This guy's just spamming words. Chat, should we just kick him for spamming words? Like, bro, I understand that you're lost in the sauce, but you're confusing the fuck out of me and everybody else watching because I'm just like, hey man, okay, like I'm gonna give you as well as everybody else listening just like a really cleaned up version of this conversation. I'm saying that removing somebody from the country, mass deportation, is the polar opposite of letting them stay in the country and become a citizen, mass amnesty. This guest is responding by saying, Dean, they're not polar opposites of one another. It's a pathway. Like even the response there, just denying that they're polar opposites and saying that they're pathway, those are words that are like seemingly like meaningless to my claim. Like imagine that like you made a claim that imagine it does have to be one or another. So the reason why it has to be one or the other, right, is because somebody either stays in the country or they don't stay in the country. That is a true binary 1 and 0. 1 or 0,
Yeah,
one or the other.
so-
They're removed or they stay.
Yeah, so they could be removed and put back to their country. They could be put in jail for crimes. They could have a pathway to stay in this country.
Sending undocumented immigrants to jail for the crimes, that's not deporting them. Allowing them to stay in the country, that's also not deporting them. So because like that's not mass deportation.
I'm just saying you're putting it out there that they're polar opposites, like up and down. And
Right.
I
Removing
just
somebody
don't
from the country
understand
and letting them stay in the country are two polar opposites.
that. Okay. You know what? So
But can you agree with that? I just want you to affirm or deny the following sentence, okay? Removing somebody from the country is the polar opposite from letting somebody stay in the country, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Mass deportation is removing undocumented immigrants from the country. Mass amnesty is allowing undocumented immigrants to stay in the country, right?
Okay. So
No, I don't want I want a yes or no.
yeah, sure.
Okay,
So,
you just affirmed it. You just affirmed it. We're going to listen back to the two propositions that you just affirmed to demonstrate how these two things are the polar opposite of one another. Let's go ahead and listen in.
you guys love to. Oh my gosh. Okay. So there's.
Sending undocumented immigrants to jail for the crimes, that's not deporting them. Listen closely. Allowing them to stay in the country, that's also not deporting them. So because like that's not mass deportation.
I'm just saying you're putting it out there that they're polar opposites, like up and down. And
Right.
I
Removing
just
somebody
don't
from the country
understand
and letting them stay in the country are two polar opposites.
that. Okay. You know what? So
Can you agree with that? I just want you to affirm or deny the following sentence, okay? Removing somebody from the country is the polar opposite from letting somebody stay in the country, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Mass deportation is removing undocumented immigrants from the country. Mass amnesty is allowing undocumented immigrants to stay in the country, right?
Okay. So.
No, I don't want a so. I want a yes or no.
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
So
you just affirmed it. You just affirmed it. So after listening back to that, do you see how you affirm that they're the polar opposites of one another?
Sure. So,
okay, so
again,
you just conceded it all. They are the polar opposites of one another. Thank you for the concession.
I'm honestly just trying to get away from the topic and go back.
So he wasn't even answering honestly. Okay. I kicked them. So, something to consider. My temples are balding. My hairline is receding. The crown on the back of my head is thinning. And it's because of guests like that. It's because of guests like that guy. Where people reduce themselves down to a chamber of horseshit. I'll debate these people and like logic, reason, their faculties of thought just like go out the window. They just like cease to exist. You know what I mean? Like humans are supposed to be smart, but by God, do humans just have the ability to turn that off? It's an interesting observation that like humans truly have the ability to reduce their cognitive faculties, like by their own control, to like that of like an antelope, you know? And that's really interesting. I wish that somebody could study that. How we truly are so capable enough to just choose to be rocks. And obviously, like, I'm saying that's a choice. Like, with, like, the level of, like, logical faculties that guy displayed, like, that wasn't even enough logical faculties to, like, wake up in the morning and brush your teeth. like, so obviously he chooses to turn it on and off, or he wouldn't be able to brush his teeth in the morning. So I don't know. It's just interesting. We're gonna go ahead and like move on to the next guest here. What an interesting observation of the lengths that some Trump supporters are willing to go to defend Trump. It's like they value like Donald Trump more than they value their own cognitive faculties. What's going on, Samuel? Do you support Trump?
No, I do not support.
Great. We're gonna go to move on to the next guest here, everybody. It is like truly a cult, and I feel like at this point it even extends like beyond a little bit of like what we like typically understand a cult to be. It's worse than like a typical conception of cult. It's just like truly just like the brainless follow of something. I don't know. What's up? Do you support Trump?
Yeah, but would you ever debate Trump?
Would I debate
Like,
Trump?
yeah, and-
Obviously I would. Obviously I'd debate Trump. Fucking duh. Moving on to the next guest, K-Bear. Make sure we're on that queue. Make sure that we support Trump, y'all. There's a handful of people that I got to thank for your donos. Welcome in. How old are you? Okay, not here. Moving on. Let's see here. Tammy, thank you for the $10 over on Venmo. Tammy says, keep fighting the good fight. I hope my kids can hold their own like you in a debate. Tammy, that's so kind of you. Can we all please show some love to Tammy down below for the $10? Thank you. That was a while ago, 40 minutes ago. Jesus, it's been a while since I've read donos. As well as Cameron with the $5. Thank you so much for the love, Cameron. And then Caitlin, dude, Caitlin, it's so good to see you again today. Thank you for the $100 donation over on Venmo. Caitlin says, please keep doing what you're doing. Hopefully we're going to have some better conversations because that last guy's brain was turned off. I really appreciate that, Caitlin. Let's get 1,000 Caitlin W's down below in that box, literally right now. Thank you so much, Caitlin. You are great. As well as Monique with the $30 donation on Venmo. Monique says, thank you for spreading wisdom, critical thinking, research, and hope all is well while being so well-spoken and positive. First time watching. I love the live feed. Monique, thank you for being here. That's awesome that it's your first time watching. There's a lot of first-time watchers every stream, and it always makes me so happy. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for the $30 donation. Show some love to Caitlin, Monique, and all of the donors down below in that chat. I'd also like to quickly thank Alexandria for the $25 over on PayPal. Show some love to Alexandria down below on the comment section. Thank you so much. Saying love you, Dean. I love you too, Alexandria. Thank you for the $25 in the kind message. Show some love to Alexandria down below. As well as Daniela with the $20 over on PayPal. They say, it took my family 17 years and $15,000 plus for our green cards, and Trump paused our application in his first term because when my parents first applied, they didn't background check me. I was 2 years old and had no background check. That's literally fucking insane, Daniela. I appreciate you for the $20. I'm happy to hear that everything worked out in the end, but that is literally insane. Okay, also, yeah, once again, if you are watching the live stream right now and you want to help pay for my therapy bills that I'm going to need after that last guest, you can find my Venmo, my PayPal, and the link tree in my bio. I get 100% of the proceeds over there if you're watching on TikTok. Link tree in the bio, as well as if you're watching on YouTube, you can find the Venmo and the PayPal in the pinned message or in the description. Now, we're going to move on to the next guest right now, everybody. We're going to move on to the next guest. If you're in that queue, make sure that means that you're at least 18 and support Trump. Who will it be? We got Shane loading up in. Also, hello for everyone on TikTok. Make sure you hit that follow button if you haven't already.
Hey, what's going on, man?
What's going on, man? Give me a second. We are literally 898 followers away from 4 million followers. Holy crap, everyone. Hit that follow button. We are so close to 4 million followers, everybody. Now, Shane, what's going on? Do you support Trump?
What's going on, man? Yes, I do, and congratulations on them 4 million followers, man. It's an accomplishment.
That's very kind of you, Shane. Go ahead and take it away. Tell us why you support Trump as president.
Well, I support Trump because, the illegal schmugs that were coming over this border by the cartels, killing our young youth by the thousands and millions. I mean, you should have seen what it was doing to our people on the streets. Not millions, but it was killing them. And they were looking like zombies, bro. Straight zombies out here. So, yep, I support declaring war on the cartels. I support declaring war on all of Mexico, if you ask me.
Bro.
Let's
not move on. Let's not move on.
Okay, let's stay on this topic.
Oh, trust me, we're going to stay on topic, Mr. Shane. So you brought up undocumented immigrants. You called them illegal schmugs. You know what? Fuck you. And I will say that to your face.
Nobody.
Like, rotten hell, you POS. What a deplorable thing to call people. Absolutely terrible. But now I'm going to go ahead and respond to what you said. So you referenced...
Don't jump.
Don't interrupt me.
Little ass boy, don't jump to assumptions.
How about you relax and you don't interrupt me? The only person amped up here is the one trying to interrupt me every 3 words. And I didn't jump to assumptions.
Well, you jumped to assumptions. I said all illegals. I said the cartels.
No. You went on
Didn't
to
I say
then
the
reference
cartels? Dumbass little boy.
Oh, who
Didn't
you calling
I say
a dumbass?
the cartels?
How about we roll the tape back, Mr. Shane? You referenced the cartels after undocumented immigrants, and I think you even said that the cartels sent them in the country. That doesn't change that the demographic of individuals in reference is undocumented immigrants.
The cartels smuggle them into the country. Yes, they do.
Right. So you're talking about the undocumented immigrants. Jesus, Shane. Thank you. Now I'm going to go ahead and finish talking. Thank you so much for conceding that you were referencing undocumented immigrants. That is just great. I appreciate it for you just serving me up a big old fat W on a golden platter, especially after some of your very derogatory comments you made there. Now, to go back to what I was saying, what you're pointing out here is going to be this issue that you see related to undocumented immigrants and committing crimes, violent crimes like murder, right? You got banned for hate speech. That's what happens. That's what happens. Of course that's what happens when you talk like that. You got banned for hate speech. Dude, TikTok is taking some W's today. Let me tell you, man. Let me tell you, TikTok is taking some W's. Maybe you shouldn't hold so much hate in your heart, buddy. Right? Then you wouldn't get banned for hate speech. Moving on to the next guest. Let's go ahead and see who we got. All right, everybody. Let's go get that next guest loaded into the box right now, y'all. If you're in that queue, make sure that you're at least 18 years old, you support Trump, and you're ready and willing to come up here and have a debate. All right. Let's go and get that next guest loaded in right now. Quite frankly, we got Peyton, Ethan. We got Ethan connecting to the live. Also, seriously, the 11,000 people.
Nigger.
Okay, just a little boy wanted to come up and scream the N-word. We got him banned and deleted from the live, everybody. Got him banned and deleted from the live. Record speed. Moving on. Everyone, just give us a minute to get that next guest loaded in. We got Marlon loading up right now. Hello, how do you?
I just want to say fuck all these MAGAs. Y'all are stupid.
I actually don't want you to get a flag on your account for that, so I'm gonna kick you. Well, I mean, you were cooking. I didn't want you to get your account banned though. Bonnie, thank you for the $20 over on Venmo. Jeez, Bonnie, that is incredibly kind of you. Very kind, Bonnie. Bonnie says, as a childhood survivor of SA, thank you for being a voice of reason for us. The excuses MAGA makes for Trump are endless, and show just how little the victims matter to them. Keep calling out the hypocrisy, Bonnie. I'm so sorry that you have to live in a country where now the right is like glorifying and protecting the people that do such terrible things to children, especially as a victim. I can't even imagine how hard that would be for yourself. Just know that I'm happy that you're here with us. I appreciate you for tuning in, as well as I truly do thank you for your kindness. Thank you. Let's go to move on here to the next guest. Allie, thank you for the $5 off Venmo. That is kind. Lauren with a 1, and Josh with a 2. You guys are awesome. Welcome in. How do you? Okay, they're not even here. Okay, how about this? Let's try to hit 4 million followers real quick. Obviously, the queue is definitely not what we want it to be. Somebody just came up here screaming the N-word. Somebody else was like, illegal schmucks. Like, I don't... And then got banned for hate speech because they were calling me a D-N-U-M-B-A-S-S. Right, I think we're going to give that a quick break, and we're going to focus on getting the 4 mil. We are literally 600 followers away. 600 followers away, everybody. Oh my goodness gracious. As well as Renee, thank you so much for the $50 donation over on Venmo. Renee says, for your therapy bill, all jokes aside, I watch you daily, and I want you to take a break. Dealing with these people like this daily is actually maddening. I hope you get some rest soon. Keep up the good work, and I genuinely appreciate you. You know, honestly, I'm gonna be honest. I feel very well rested. I took a couple days out in LA. It was awesome. That was the break that I needed. But Renee, thank you for the kindness, and thank you so much for the $50 donation over on Venmo. Everybody, show some love to Renee down below in that chat right now. Thank you so much for the love, Renee. Then once again, if you're watching and you want to support me on TikTok, you can find the Venmo and the PayPal in the link tree in my bio. First links, I get 100% of the proceeds over there, as well as you could attach a message that I could read off on live. Now, let's take a look at how close we are. Okay, we're 350. Is there 350 people watching right now that don't follow me? If so, you should follow me so we can hit the 4 mil. And then also, Dallin, thank you for the $15 over on Venmo. Dallin says, much love. Thank you for speaking out and always coming with facts. Your debates have honestly helped me with talking points when talking to my family/friends that are MAGA. It's helped an insane amount. That's good. Honestly, one of the other reasons why I do what I do. So you guys watching that are on the left can disseminate these points to your friends and family to hopefully change their minds as well. Okay. All right. How close are we? How close are we, folks? How close are we, everybody? Yeah, 300. Okay, 300 followers away, 350. Guys, it's still going. If you haven't already, hit that big fat old follow button in the top left-hand corner, yo. Okay, we're like around 330 followers away from 4 million now. So hit that big fat old follow button while we get big things loaded up into the box right now. Somebody right there, everybody. It's that big old button. Make sure to hit that shit. We're so close. What's going on? Do you support Trump?
What's up, D?
You are driving, so unfortunately I got to disconnect you, man. You can't be driving if you're joining in live. Moving on to the next guest right now, everybody. Just do be patient. We got Rich Hills joining us. What's up? Do you support Trump? Okay, they're not here. Moving on. Going to put a MAGA down below in that chat with your age. We'll get you pulled up here. Moving on to Sanctuary right now. Okay, guys. We're like so close. We are 250 followers away from 4 million on TikTok. Jesus. What's up, Sanctuary? How old are you?
Hello?
How old are you? Are you here? I hear you say hello. Can you hear me?
I am... Well, I'm not 18 yet. I'm turning 18 in a week. But
dude, come back in a week.
17, but I want to play a little bit of devil's advocate.
Come back in a week, brother. I'm so sorry. Oh, you want to play devil's advocate? We are just looking to talk to people that actually support Trump. Moving on to the next guest right now, everybody. Dude, holy crap. How close are we? How close are we? Wow. 200.
I just wanted to say keep clocking their tea and keep doing it.
I appreciate you for that love. 215 followers away from 4 million. And oh my God, Cynthia with the $150 donation over on Venmo. Dude, Cynthia, that is so kind of you. I hope that you're doing well. It's been a minute. Dude, Cynthia, I don't deserve that at all. That is so much money. Holy fuck. Thank you. Thank you, Cynthia. You were like freaking fantastic. Cynthia says, it's been a minute. Dean, I hope that you're doing well. I am doing well. I hope that you're doing well as well. Please show some love to Cynthia. Down below, in that comment section right now for the $150 donation over on Venmo. And let's see where else we stand. Let's see where we stand. We are now 160 followers away from 4 mil on TikTok. We'll try to get that next guest up here right now. Just know that we're so close. If you haven't hit that follow button yet over on TikTok, hit that follow button right now. We're just so close to 4 million. It's ridiculous. It is so ridiculous. As well as Michael, thank you for the $20 over on PayPal. Let's see what Michael said. From YouTube, created a TikTok to give you a follow. All the best, Dean. Bro, Michael, are you kidding me? Sometimes I forget that a portion of the fan base is only on YouTube and is not on TikTok. I forget about that. You know what, Michael? You're the man, bro. I appreciate you so much. Okay, we're in the final countdown. We're in the final countdown, everybody. We're in the final countdown. We are 85 followers away from 4 mil. 85 followers away from 4 mil. We're 80 followers away. We're so close, everybody. I could taste it. We're 50 followers away. In fact, I'm even going to go on my main account just to verify this because I'm looking at some website. Let me make sure that the website is in alignment with the data that's... Oh, yes, it is. Oh, yes, it is. Oh, let's see. Let's see here. Okay. The website is saying that I hit it. Now we just got to wait for it to update on the phone. Let's see if it updates on the phone, folks. Let's see if it updates on the phone. Whoa! It did! 4 million followers. Look at that shit. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness gracious. Holy fuck, everybody. Dude, that is huge, man. That is so huge. Oh my God. I love you guys. Listen. For every single one of you tuning in, I appreciate you for helping me reach such an insane accomplishment. Because this isn't me. This is you guys. Yo, Birdie, thank you so much for the crystal. Thank you, Birdie. As well as Jeanette with the $4 on Venmo for the 4 million. I appreciate that, Jeanette. Yo, Olivia with the $10 over on PayPal for the 4 mil. I appreciate that. Thank you, Olivia. Just keep that in mind. This is not me. This is you guys. This is all you guys. We rarely talk about followers, following goals, shit like that. But every so often when a big landmark comes around, 1 mil on Instagram or 4 mil on TikTok, I make sure to make note because it truly does make me so fucking happy just knowing that my message, that is shared on these streams, has been and shared in my videos is able to reach so many people. 4 million people have seen my content along the likes of why Donald Trump sucks, why progressivism is good, why we should critically think, why we should endorse more progressive policy. And they've liked it so much that they dropped a follow. And I hope that speaks very loudly towards what is possible for the future of this country. There's so many people out there that do use their brains. There's so many people out there that think before they speak or vote and genuinely care about research into these concepts that they deploy when voting in politics. So you guys are awesome. 4 mil W down below in that chat. We'll go ahead and move on to the next guest. Just know that I really appreciate you guys. The best ever. The best ever. Lizzie, thank you so much for the $10 over on YouTube Super Chat saying I should debate Candace Owens. I agree I should. I'd love to debate Owens. as well as Caitlin. Thank you for the $20 over on Venmo to celebrate 4 mil. Caitlin, you are awesome. Show some love to Caitlin down below. Jeanette with a 4 for the 4 million. Rachel, thank you for the 5 over on PayPal. Sammy with the $5 for the 4 million. Renee for the $4 for the 4 million. And yo, Joseph, thank you so much for the $40 over on Cash App, man, for the 4 million. Thank you so much, Joseph. I want to see 400 Joseph W's down below in that comment section for the $40 for the 4 million. You are awesome. Now, let's go ahead and load up that next guest right now. Morgan, I appreciate you for the 5 on Venmo as well as for the kind message. I read that to myself. Thank you. Let's go to move on to the next guest. If you're on that queue, make sure that means that you support Trump. We're going to go ahead and load up that next guest literally right now. Let's go and get that next guest connected. Go and put a MAGA with your age down below in that chat if you want to join up. We'll hop back to the debates. Here we go, everyone. Here we go. We're going to get Jessica loaded in. I have a feeling that this is a troll burner account. We'll see what's up. Do you support Trump? I kicked them before it got closer to the mic, to the mic. But they were like spamming slurs. We're going to go to move on to the next guest here. Everyone just give us a minute. Alex, thank you for the $3 over on PayPal. That is incredibly kind of you. Moving on to the next guest, everyone. Welcome in Molly. Do you support Trump? Molly, are you here? Okay, Molly's not here. Goodbye, Molly. I am definitely noticing that it is very difficult. It is very difficult to find people to debate today. Hi.
Yo, hello? Yeah.
Okay, all right. Give us a second here. Kristen, thank you for the $20 and the 25 cents over on PayPal. Kristen says, congratulations on the 4 mil. The intelligence and passion that you show every day truly inspires me from a grumpy old lady. I just want to say you make me believe that the kids are okay. Keep fighting the good fight. Kirsten, sorry, I believe that your name is Kirsten. What a kind message. Thank you for being here, and thank you so much for the love with the $20 donation as well. Show some love to Kirsten down below in this live chat. Says KIRSTIN. Mr. NPC, take it away. Why do you support Trump?
I support Trump because of union work. And before you say, Trump's union policies are very bad, and they, are very, very negative actually for the work of unions. But I see it firsthand, and I see the work actually declines whenever there's a Democratic president in office. You know what I mean?
Can you repeat that? I do apologize.
Okay, so the union rates, like the working rates, whenever a Democrat is in office, they're very down. I mean, not very down. They're very up, but the work is down. You know what I mean? Like the work. I'm talking about union rates in the work.
Union. So you're saying like wages are lower under Dems?
No. Never wages. I'm talking about the actual working. People do not work as much under Dems.
Higher levels of unemployment?
I wouldn't say higher levels. No. I'm talking about
what it's called when people aren't working?
No, because the layoff rate I feel like is higher during the Democrats in office.
Less people, like more people are unemployed, more people are being laid off. Are you talking
of course.
Okay.
Well, that's
so what is your
COVID.
claim?
I know
that more people are. Are you talking that more people are unemployed, or like there's just like more like productivity in the economy?
There's more productivity in the economy, of course, whenever, well, I wouldn't even say that because these tariffs are horrible.
I actually disagree with that. 15 of the last 16 recessions have been under Republicans.
15 of the last what?
15 of the last 16 recessions have been under Republicans. So your claim that like the economy is more productive under Republicans and Democrats is false. Now, I mean, I'm not going to say that we could definitely attribute that.
Who was our last recession under?
I think it started under Bush.
You would say Bush? You wouldn't say it had more to do with Obama?
Yeah, I don't think it had much to do with Obama.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it started when Obama wasn't president.
I think it started.
Dude, when was Obama inaugurated?
08.
I'm pretty sure the election was 08. I think he was inaugurated in January of 09.
Well, the recession was already deep in 09. Actually, you're right.
How old are you?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm really high, Dean. I just wanted to give you advice on your hair because those.
You can't. You can't say that on TikTok, bro. You can't say that on TikTok. I gotta kick you. Don't worry, man. I don't need advice on the hair. I'm actually all good. I'm all good. I got on my medication. I'm on medication to keep my hair, everybody. I'm on medication. I don't need the advice because I've already taken it. I'm on a combination of finasteride and minoxidil, however you pronounce it. I'm going to be keeping my hair, everybody. That's right. Dean is not going bald. Welcome in. What's up, Madison? Say goodbye to Madison. Goodbye, Madison. She's not here. We're going to move on to the next guest right now, everybody. Let's get that next Trump supporter loaded in to have a debate. Quite frankly. Hello, do you support Trump?
I'm so sorry.
Oh, what for?
Because I don't support Trump. I didn't mean to join this. Oh my gosh.
Oh, no worries. At all. Quite frankly. Moving on to the next guest, everybody. Go ahead and put a MAGA with your age down below in that comment section if you would like to come up and have a conversation. We're going to move on to the next guest right now. Here we go, everybody. We got Cody. We got Cody Witt. I feel like Cody will definitely be an interesting contender for a conversation here today. Here we go, everyone. Hey, Cody.
Hello.
Big Trump guy? Big Trump guy? You a big Trump guy, man?
I am a Trump fan, yes.
Oh, dude, Cody, why?
Well, go ahead. Ask me what you want to ask me.
Why do you support such a bad president, man?
Okay. What makes him bad? I'm going to ask you a question back. What makes him bad?
Okay. Well, Cody, I'll ask you. Would you like a really long explanation or a shorter explanation? Short? I think there's three main categorical reasons he's bad. His character sucks. He's an adjudicated rapist, boasted about pervert on teens in the Epstein files. Big time liar too.
That's not been proven. You cannot exactly say that. The files does not come out to say he was an Epstein. You cannot say that permanently.
The Department of Justice has confirmed that Donald Trump is in the Epstein files.
No, they have not. You want to release that statement? I'll show you. You can pull it up, or I'll pull it up on screen. You can pull it up, or I will.
I mean, I made a video about it. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna play you a video.
No, not a video.
It's been confirmed Donald Trump is named in the Epstein files, and him as well as his administration have been hiding this from us for months. Let's go ahead and take a look at the reporting that is just now coming in from the Wall Street Journal. They're reporting that in May, Pam Bondi, Donald Trump's attorney general, and her deputy informed the president in a meeting in the White House that his name was in the Epstein files. This reporting confirms what Elon Musk had said a couple months ago. There you go. Isn't that cool? Honestly, like, you know how most people will I get to play my own video. I get to play that's kind of cool, right? I get to play like my own reporting to justify. That's fun.
That's a video just like I can pull up, I can make, or anybody else can make.
that's me, bro.
That's not coming from public news media or no one.
Okay, wait. Then I'll just literally repeat what I said in the video. It has been confirmed that he's in the Epstein files because of reporting from the Wall Street Journal confirming that in May, the DOJ went to both Pam Bondi as well as Trump and confirmed that he's in the files.
Yeah, that'd be like confirmed with everybody else. Like you say Obama. I mean, you want to go and confirm Obama would be in there?
Has the DOJ said Obama's in the files? No.
They won't release it, Harry. They won't release it. No one's going to release it.
Did you just call me Harry?
Yeah, I did. I like calling you Harry because you remind me of Harry, but I will not call you that. I will not call you that again. But listen, that was just a video of someone who literally is on TikTok who done any kind of justice, which was no justice. Like, he literally just done his own journalism. I mean,
dude, that was me.
I'm saying, like, what was you?
The video I played.
In your own journalism? So why would you want to play fake journalism?
Wait. It's actually not my journalism. It was the Wall Street Journal's journalism. I just repeated what the Wall Street Journal said.
That's just like fake news all over the world.
Wait,
I mean,
what? Wait, I have a question. Is Fox News fake news?
Fox News is about getting as bad as CNN. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So how do you know that was fake reporting? Because remember, Donald Trump sued the Wall Street Journal last week because he claimed
Because I could do this. I could do the same
Cody,
reporting.
Cody, just give me a second here.
Go ahead.
So Trump sued the Wall Street Journal like a week or two ago because they reported about a letter that he had sent to Epstein in 2003. He claimed that it was fake. Okay, well, if it was also fake that they're now reporting that the DOJ named him in the files to Pam Bondi and himself back in May. No, listen to my question. I'm not done with my question. It was also fake that they were reporting that he learned alongside Pam Bondi in May from the DOJ that he was in the files. Why isn't Pam Bondi denied it? Why isn't Trump denied it? Why isn't Trump launched another lawsuit?
Yeah, he's not. Okay, you're right. He's not been on media yet. But listen, let me ask you something.
He's been on media a lot. This came out a couple days ago.
I can do fake journalism. I mean, look at me. I can go hold a camera up. I can do fake journalism just as well as you can. Anybody in the United States can do fake journalism. Think about it.
But if it was fake, why hasn't it been denied?
What do you mean? Why's it not been denied?
Why? I mean, they deny all the fake journalism, quote unquote. They literally denied an article from the Wall Street Journal like a week ago.
He is the president of the United States. Here's a lot more going on than just saying, okay, well, this is fake. You know, me and you as a debate, he has a lot more going on.
Dude, he literally called their reporting on the letter fake 3 days before it was publicly published. No, they deny this shit as soon as it comes out if they don't like it, right?
Okay, well,
then you also have to consider Caroline Levitt at a press Caroline Levitt hosted a press conference after this was reported on. She never denied it. Pam Bondi didn't deny it. Nobody's denied it. It's true.
Do you have that proof that he denied it? Can you pull that up?
They're reporting a week ago about the letter.
Can you pull the video up where he did not a letter, a video where he denied it?
Denied what?
What we're just talking about, Epstein Island's list.
Oh, that he denied that he was in the files?
Yeah, you just said, can you pull a video where he denied Epstein Island's list? Can you pull that up and say, well, let's see a video of him saying, let's say he denied it. No, you cannot.
I don't even know what you're asking. I'm gonna be. How about this? You know what? You beat me. Let's start at the top. Why do you support Trump?
Why did I support Trump? I support Trump over the oil fields, and I support Trump over making America great again, which we need to be, and a lot of different things, LGBTQ, a lot of different things that I supported Trump over.
Okay, do you think being gay is wrong?
If you want to be gay, no. If you want to be gay, you can be gay, but it shouldn't be out in public in front of our children, like at the fairgrounds, like let's just say you go to a fair, right?
Do you see two men holding hand. Oh, boo!
No, boo! Let's do more than that. Let's just say they're doing more than that in front of my son or my daughter.
Like kissing.
Okay, they could be. So,
okay.
Would you support that? Do you support that?
I mean, I'm okay with like some levels of PDA. But I don't think it's going to be dependent on the sexual orientation of the people engaging in it.
No, come on now, really? Come on, listen. You should really.
I don't know. If you want to give your partner a little smooch in public, like who cares? Listen, like the whole like making out thing, or just
okay. You got it. Okay, I'm gonna listen to there, a little smooch. But let's just say they're going full on detail making out.
Well, I mean, I don't think my opinion would change if it was two men, two women, or a man and a woman. That's probably not acceptable to do in public.
You just said a little smooch. It'd be different. So let's just say my son's behind you in line to get on this ride, but you two are making out right in front of my son.
Dude, if there's like any couple just like viciously going at it in public, I'm gonna say that's probably not like acceptable. But like that's like that. It's not gonna be unacceptable to do with anything related to or consequential of their sexual. One second. Or consequential of their sexual orientation. Like, how would you feel if I said that being straight is wrong because a lot of straight people have made corn? And corn is publicly accessible on the internet, even to minors. And this is heavily socially eroded, the safety of our children, the prospects, thoughts of our children, the mindset of our children, etc. So therefore, being straight is wrong.
let's just say you was straight, heterosexual, and you and your woman want to do that thing, make out like you said. Okay, let's just go somewhere privately, and we're gonna do this.
Right. Yippee! That's right. Woo! So it's actually not anti-gay. It's kind of just like anti-PDA, right? Oh, that rhymed. It's not anti-gay. It's anti-PDA.
I didn't say gay. I said, listen, you want to be that way? If you and your woman, if you just go to Outback, go to anywhere you want to go, and just say, okay, here we go. This is where we're gonna be at, and we're gonna make out whatever. Not for little children, though. Not for no children who don't know the difference.
Okay. Once again, I agree. Adult couples shouldn't viciously make out in front of little children in public.
Thank you.
What the fuck does this have to do with the LGBTQ plus community?
Well, it don't have nothing to do with that. But
So then why are we talking about it? Because I asked you like what your thoughts are in the LGBTQ plus community, and then you started yapping about this, but now you're telling me that has nothing to do with them.
Okay, they can't do the same thing. They can't do the same. Yeah, they can't do the same thing. Like, let's make this private. It's a private moment. Let's just go make this a private moment.
Bro, dude, let's look at the facts here. I think that there's plenty of straight people that are against PDA. There's plenty of gay people that are against PDA. There's also plenty of straight people that are not against PDA. There's plenty of gay people that are not against PDA. I would definitely assume that there's going to be more gay than straight people that don't engage in PDA because of homophobia. So I think more of your issues actually going to disproportionately lie within straight couples. And also PDA is like public displays of affection.
I'm 35 years old, so how old are you? Because my age, we would have went and hid behind somewhere and done the PDA away from children, and then not in front of them.
Wait, I don't even why am I entertaining this? Like, this is like just so like ridiculous. Like, why am I doing this? I just need to like check myself sometimes. Like, why am I even entertaining this conversation? Like, this is like just this is so dumb. Like, I don't know why haven't I kicked you yet? Like, this shit is like ridiculous. This is obviously
no, you're not, but you're not as old as me.
Yeah, man. Obviously,
so you're not saying, and one simple fact, saying, well, we should go somewhere and do our thing, and then not do it in front of everybody.
Okay.
And
explain how this relates to gay people.
Because even if it was gay people, listen. Okay. So let's just say it was gay. Let's just say I was gay. Okay. If I was gay, I would still take my public display, take PDA. I would say, you know what? Let's go.
Okay. If you were somewhere, so what we're learning right now is that if you were gay, you wouldn't viciously make out with your husband in public.
No, we're not. I'll go somewhere.
Same, bro. You got me there. Same, man. I agree. Look at that common ground. If we were gay, both of us would not viciously make out with our husbands in public. Where do we go from here?
We go somewhere where it's private.
Right? Oh, that is where we'd go from there. You answered the question very literally. I meant it more metaphorically, though. That is literally where they'd go from there. No, you're right. You technically did answer my. You technically answered my question. I was
doing reverse psychology on me. You were doing reverse psychology on me. You just said earlier, what's wrong with it in public? Now, what's wrong with it not in public? Then now you're doing.
Okay,
you're literally.
We're gonna go.
You're literally doing.
Okay, how about it? We're gonna go back. We're gonna go back to the main question. You told me that you support Trump because of something to do with the LGBTQ plus community. What about the LGBTQ plus community makes you support Trump?
What about it?
Yeah.
Okay, I believe there's only two sex changes.
Only two sex changes?
Two sex genders.
Oh, I thought you said there's only two sex like trans people are just like limited at two sex changes, please. Like, that's the max. Anything beyond that is just completely outrageous. There's two genders.
No, it's not.
Okay. So you're telling us that you support Trump because you invalidate like the existence of non-binary individuals? Like,
that's not always I support Trump, no, but I support Trump only when there's two sex. He says there's male and female, and that is correct.
Okay, so So, I mean, those are going to be sexes. Even that's a little bit of a toughie. I don't think that sex is binary because of like. So, I didn't say it's sexist. I said it's sexes. SEXES, or however you spell multiple sexes. I'm not too good at that.
That's what you're saying, but go ahead.
So, even that claim that there's like 2 different sexes, that's not true. Kind of. I don't know. It's a difficult one. I'm sure that there's many other people that are more educated than I am, but at the basis, I think that saying that there's 2 binary sexes is a little bit misleading because of intersex conditions. Intersex conditions make it a little bit more nuanced and complex to understand the categorization of sexes. On typical, there's 2 sexes. Typically, yeah, you got your males and your females. But this is not like an all-encompassing rule. And when you set forth the principle that there's two sexes, you're setting forth said all-encompassing rule. You're not just talking about what's typical. And I mean, I don't know if like it's even possible to have a conversation with you about this with all the beers in your tummy. But
yeah, they are. I'm gonna be quiet. Just explain the intersexes so you can go ahead. I got your viewers. You go ahead. Explain intersexes. What you just said. Explain that.
So, like, we would typically like categorize like a male off of maybe like chromosomes, like XY, or like phenotypical sex traits. You know, like presence of of the PP. You know, etc. Typically categorize like females based upon chromosomes, XX, phenotypical sex traits. You know, like the female genitalia, etc. However, right, intersex conditions can like like change the chromosomes that you have. So instead of being XX or XY, you could be XXY. You could be XYY. You could be XXYY. You could be XXYYY. There's a lot of intersex chromosome conditions. I mean, it could also present like phenotypically, where you don't just have like, you don't clearly have a PP or a female member. Maybe you have like both a male member and a female member. Maybe you have a predominant male member with like a less predominant female member. Even sometimes other intersex conditions could be where you are just truly chromosomally male, XY, but truly phenotypically female with a female member. There's about like a billion different ways that intersex conditions can present.
So do you really think that in your head? Because you can you in any way and scientifically prove that? Because no, you are either born male or female.
So everything I just said is very biologically, scientifically driven. Everything I just said was super scientific.
Born male or female? Don't you can't. No, it's not. You're scientific.
What if I broke this dude's brain real quick?
Your scientific is just way out of the way, son.
Dude, I'm gonna break your brain real quick, Cody. This will be great.
Break it.
Intersex conditions. Let's see.
Break it. I love for it.
You said that you want science?
I want science. I actually love gossip this, but go ahead and go to science.
Okay. All right. I'm trying. What's something that I could? I'm trying to just find something that I could show you that will just like break your brain. You know, like if I just put up if I just like put up a screenshot of like a study here with all these big words and whatnot, like you're not going to understand it. I'm trying to find something where it's just like you could have like these different chromosomes.
Go ahead. I want the college for original. Go ahead and let's see this. Let's put it up in scientific, and then let's put it up in God's words. Go ahead.
What if I have like what's a particular intersex condition? Maybe I could pull up something on that.
Okay, that would be a girl being born a guy. That'd be a boy being born a girl. There you go.
Turners. Yeah, Turner's at one.
You can't win. You can't win that.
Turner's.
You cannot win that.
Okay. Honestly, man, I just know if I put any of this on the screen, you're not going to get it. Okay, what do you want?
You can't. No, you can't. You can't not do it. Don't say Don't say honestly. Just I cannot do it. Just I cannot do it.
I just don't
It's
even.
impossible.
I don't even think that you're gonna understand like the syntax of this.
Because it's impossible, and you know it
Okay,
is.
fine, I'll show you. It's
I'm glad you're making money off TikTok, but it's impossible.
It's definitely possible. I'm just like for instance,
No, it's not.
like right now, I'm looking at like an academic research paper titled
No, sir.
"Intersexuality: Differences of Sex Development Throughout the Discourse of Intersex People," a descriptive qualitative
No,
study.
sir.
And,
You are
and then
born
like and then
too
like the
late.
and then like the abstract goes on to talk about intersex / differences of sex
Allegedly,
development,
like
conditions or
but-
divergences amongst. Oh, okay. Actually, I mean this works. This works.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Let's see it.
Okay. So now I got to like screenshot these things and download them real quick. So if you wouldn't mind just
Go ahead. Got plenty of time.
give
I'm waiting on it.
this is like so like unnecessary. It's funny though.
No, it's not. No, it's not. You chose me to a challenge, and I challenged you to it.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you got it, buddy. I've yeah, definitely. Oh, no. We lost access to our multi-guest feature. Do do do. Do do do. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. We lost access. I should be able to peel that ban and get it back. No big deal. Should have done a restart earlier. Just stay safe. I was being a silly goose and I didn't. Oh well. Let me go ahead and drop an appeal on that. And I want you guys to stick around while I still have you, because actually, should we I'll listen to the what happened. Oh. My live does not contain the content mentioned in this notice. Okay. All right. I submitted an appeal. So the last guest got us banned. I actually don't know. What's the over-under? What's the odds? I think that appeal is going to get rejected. What about you guys? But quickly, before you guys leave, there's something that I wanted to bring up. Somebody in my Discord had asked me to read a message out loud. I'm going to kind of put my own spin on it, just interpret it to be a little bit more understandable by the viewers. But it is important. If you remember yesterday, we had a guest. Sorry, I'm just trying to get my second account in here. We had a guest come up and say that America's always been great. And that started a larger conversation about examples of systemic oppression and just the ways that people have been hurt so badly in our country, in our country's history. And a member of my Discord brought up like a very specific way that individuals have been hurt so badly in our country's history. And I thought it was worth going over. So they wrote a message about this guy by the name of James Sims, who is considered the father of gynecology. And the way that, like the research into gynecology in America started from this guy was he forced black female slaves to endure particular procedures that would literally, I'm trying to find like TikTok safe words of reference here, that would literally like rip them open, create fissures, just so he could then figure out how to fix the fissures. In studying gynecology, women give birth, fissures can occur. He wanted to know how we could surgically fix those fissures upon childbirth. And the way that he did this was by torturing black female slaves, manufacturing the fissures, and then sewing them back up. So he knew how to sew them up. And this happened to many people, but there were particularly three that it predominantly happened to, named Betsy, Anarcha, and Lucy. And one of these women, at a minimum, experienced this 13 times of being tortured and cut open down there and then sewn back together. So this guy knew how he did it. There's also like an assumed maximum of like 30 surgeries before this guy was able to get his quote unquote technique down to figure out how to do it. And then he also would practice on their children and newborns. And if this is making you ill, it's because it's supposed to. This is completely grotesque. So completely grotesque. And all of this occurred even when we didn't have anesthesia available. And, even like deeper than that, something that was promoted during the times of American slavery was the lie that black women couldn't feel pain. So that's why, we hear all the time about how enslaved black women were raped, enslaved black women were physically tortured. It's because they promoted the lie that they couldn't even feel pain. And the reason why this is relevant to bring up is just in response to, what that guest on the live had said yesterday about how this country has always been great. It wasn't then, and in many circumstances, it isn't now. And everything I just said is like an introduction to these concepts if you've never heard them before. I mean, there's probably, like, I myself could probably speak about this at great length. Others could speak at even greater length. Just go on and on all day about so many different points in this country's history where people have experienced the most fucked up things known to mankind, rooted in some immutable characteristic of themselves, like in these circumstances, their race. We did not get our appeal approved. We got our account taken away with a restriction to access multi-guess. Let's take a look at how long that's in effect. I bet it's 3 days. $31? Yeah, it's 3 days. So we will regain live access on the 31st. But yes, Parker, I still have the DNC Dean account, everybody. So that's been a nice account to go live from. That's where we will be going live for the next 3 days. It's from @DNC Dean. And that's what we'll be doing. That's what we'll be doing for the next couple days. That's what we'll be doing. DNC Dean. All right, here we go, everybody. I don't know what to do for the rest of the day. Honestly, we are like really close to when we were going to end nonetheless. Parker, thank you for the congrats on the 4 mil. Yes, we hit 4 million followers on TikTok before we ended for the day here. Right now, we have just about 7 million followers across all of my social medias. $7 million. That is absolutely insane. How about this? We're going to go ahead and do a Q&A for a while. A couple minutes here. If you want to ask a question, feel free to ask it down below in the chat. I'll hang out with you guys for a little bit, do a little bit of a Q&A before we hop off. It's been a while. A couple people I want to thank here as well. Harriet, thank you so much for the $20 over on PayPal. Harriet just says, thank you for all the work that you do. I appreciate you, Harriet. Show some love to Harriet down below. As well as McLaren with the $10 saying something pretty similar to Harriet. Says, dude, keep going. The ability of these Trump supporters to wipe their ass with their morals is completely insane. It is insane. No, it is. I couldn't have described it better myself. It is completely insane, McLaren. I appreciate you for the love. As well as Justin, I appreciate you for the $25 donation. Justin says, dude, that's really fucked up. People who supported that were pieces of shit. I mean, I'd even argue that, like, even if people didn't directly support it, but weren't outspoken against it, didn't try to stop it, I also think they're pretty culpable. You know? And even though, like, I understand, like, the social pressures, like, everybody disagrees. Like, that was a point in human history to be the one to spark the change. And it's crazy that we saw so many generations of white Americans and, like, the totality of their generations just not care. That's one thing that truly does astound me. That there wasn't outspoken voices amongst any of these generations. Everybody at the minimum was complicit. It is genuinely hard to wrap my head around. It is so genuinely hard to wrap my head around. Emily, thank you for the $5 over on PayPal. I appreciate you for that love. And then Catherine with the $5 as well. Thank you, guys. Then Bailey, I appreciate you for the $15 over at Venmo, saying I appreciate you. You've completely changed my views on things and got me doing my own research. Bailey, you're awesome. That's what I want. I'm really proud of you. Then Taylor with a $9 saying TikTok says I've been watching you for 115 days. It's been so awesome to watch your platform grow. Dude, Taylor, that's crazy. A year? I think around a year ago, that's right after I filmed the Jubilee episode. Like 115 days? That's when the Jubilee episode dropped. Anyways, Robert, thank you for the galaxy. Let's see a couple questions here. Would I debate Kirk again? Yeah, no, I would happily sit down with Kirk. I don't think it'll ever end up happening, though. That'd make for a great debate right now. Because remember, Kirk is the end-all, be-all Trump shill. He co-signs himself on anything and all things that Trump does. Now, Trump has done some truly indefensible things. So he'd be arguing in support of truly indefensible things. Did I find oysters in LA? Asked Crimson in the chat. I did. Dude, I ate so many oysters with my girlfriend in LA. We had like 14 oysters. And we got them for a great deal. The place where we ate gave us half of them for free. It's like a promo that they were running. It was like awesome. It was like the best thing ever. Let's see. What else do we got here? Would I debate Trump? I would. It'll never happen. It'll never happen, though. Never, ever. It'll never happen. Robert, thank you for the galaxy. I appreciate you for the love. You were awesome, man. Let's see. Would I ever consider becoming president in the future if it came up? Would I ever consider it? Sure. Do I ever think I'll be in that position? Like, probably not. That's a hard position to get into in the first place. Like to have the opportunity to run for president. Let's see here. Anything else? Robert, dude, Robert, you've been going crazy today. I appreciate you for all the galaxies, man. You're awesome. Opinions on the new episode of Dexter Resurrection? Yo, based? Based, dude? Based? It's like the best show ever. I hope that Morgan C. Hall plays Dexter until he is 95. I am a huge fan. I'm a huge fan. Of Dexter. I'm a big Dexter guy. Watched all of the original series. Thought it was awesome. Thought New Blood was sick. I didn't watch Original Sin. I didn't like the first couple episodes. But I did watch, I have been watching Resurrection, and I think that they've been executing beautifully. Let's see here. Can I watch Impractical Jokers? Dude, I grew up on Impractical Jokers. That was literally my favorite TV show for so long. Let's see here. Yo, Kate, thank you so much for the $20 over on PayPal. I don't think that I could read that message out loud on TikTok. I'll get banned. But I couldn't agree more, Kate. Max with the $5, thank you. Thank you. Everybody, appreciate you so much for the love. Take a couple more questions here. Kira, thank you for the $10 on Venmo. Kira says, hey, Dean, I appreciate what you're doing for the country. You always show people their hypocritical views. Questions, if you don't mind. What led you to be so outspoken and becoming so informed about politics? Did something specific trigger it? Did you always lean liberal? No, I mean, for like my first 16 or so years of life, I was pretty hard right, man. That's right. Well, I mean, not hard right. You know, I was on the right. Trump supporter, typical ignorant kid. I think what kind of triggered my switch to the left was like just learning more and being like, holy fuck, I was wrong about all of these things. Are you kidding me? And then I think what like really incentivized me to do what I do now is just the idea that I was able to change my mind based upon critical thought, reason, and evidence. So I was like, holy fuck, now I want to go shout this out to the choir, I need to tell everybody about this cool new thing I found called research and fact-based, thought forming. And I'm gonna go tell everybody else this great news that it took me 16 years to find. And that's why I do what I do now. I feel like I can get lost in the sauce sometimes and forget that goal, but that is the goal. Anna, thank you for the $15 over on Venmo. Anna says, I'm 42 years old and learn daily from you. Please keep up this important work, but please do something kind for yourself too. And well, Anna, I appreciate that. I've been treating myself well. I've been treating myself well. I have. I've been enjoying my life. In fact, after I leave here, I'm actually going to head over to my grandparents' house and spend some time with them. So I can't wait to do that. Saw them yesterday for dinner. I'm going to go spend some more time with them today. Spending more time with the grandparents. Hell yeah. Let's see. I'll take a couple more questions here, then I'm going to end for the night. Let's see here. What's your opinion on UK politics? I don't think I follow them closely enough to have an opinion. Did I hear that Donald Trump said in an interview that he never had the privilege of going to Epstein Island? I did hear that this morning. So every day before I go live, I just look at what's been in the news that day. And I heard that. What like a crazy thing to say. The privilege of going to the island. Holy shit. Dude. I mean, it's like right in front of your face. Nobody gives a fuck. Well, I guess millions of people don't give a fuck. Millions of people really do care, which is awesome. Oh, by the way, there is a really cool opportunity that I have coming up super duper soon. I was invited on a news station to have a conversation. I can't tell you guys what news station it is because I feel like it'll expose a lot. But it's like nationwide. It's super big. And I'm thinking about, it's not Fox, I wish. I'm thinking about, kind of throwing a wrench in there and being a party pooper for the news station. I don't know. Maybe I'll be on my best behavior. But, all right. I'm going to go ahead and end for the night, everybody. I love you all. If you want to see some more debates, make sure to watch Parker when he goes live. That's at Parker Get a Job. Great guy. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace and love, everybody. Oh, wait, actually, before we head off, I should probably check the YouTube. So we're actually not going to end yet. I completely forgot about the YouTube. I'm sorry, you guys. Let me answer the questions that we have already received on YouTube. It will take me a second here. Let's see here. Giz, thank you so much for the 10 pounds over on YouTube. I appreciate you for the love. As well as Blue with the $5. I appreciate you for that. Nicholas with a 5. Jonathan with a 2. Joe with a 5. King with a 2. Shelly with a 5. And Dumb Kid with a 2. Dumb Kid asked if I like Arctic monkeys. I do. Okay. All right. See you later, everybody. See you tomorrow. Peace and love, y'all. Take care. Bye-bye.